Good evening, everybody. Dadman Walking 55 coming to you live a couple minutes after 9 on the east coast of the USA. Boy, what a weekend. Wow. This is what makes college football the best game on the planet to me, a weekend like this. Close matchups, rivalry games, coaching changes. Wow. To say the least. It was a big week in college football, folks, and we will definitely try to touch on all of it. And folks out there, if you have news and stories that you want us, we'll put them in the chat. We'll see what we can address. If you have questions about football or the game in general, ask. That's what we're here for. We're here to make football fun and educational. And speaking of educational, it's the guy from Michigan himself, who's the band member. Yay! No, he did not get run over by the last play of the game, and he didn't play was it trombone? But no, it's the one, the only, the great JT Kirk. JT, how are you tonight?
Hail. Tired of every single team in my state losing in every single sport.
Ohio was having fun. I saw the tweets out there about all these from Michigan, and even then Detroit, the baseball team lost, and just was like,
well, they have no room because their professional teams stink all in MLB.
Oh, absolutely. Well, my team finally got eliminated. The Cubs got kicked out pretty quickly. So, typical damn. I hate the friggin' Brewers. I just do. Before
right.
Years ago, they're a harmless team, and now they're not supposed to be good like that. Well,
yeah.
I know, right. But did Detroit still alive, or did they get eliminated?
Detroit lost. I believe it was Friday night. Yes, they lost Friday night. I was playing Late Night Fortnite, Mark D with a C. Right. Check it out, folks. It's usually 11:30 at night Eastern time, Mark D with a C's channel. You've been over there once or twice in the past, if I recall.
Yep.
Fun times to be had, playing or watching. And the series was tied 2-2, so winner take all. And when Mark went live, it was bottom of the ninth. And because it was in Seattle, in Mariners' home game, Detroit didn't score. And then it was, they got Seattle out, so it went to extra innings.
Right.
So the whole time I'm playing, or I'm sitting out around, I'm looking over at the TV in the other room, looking over at the TV in the other room.
Yeah.
It had been 15 innings.
Golly, 15. That's my kind of baseball game.
Well, it made me mad. I knew they weren't going to win at the point that it got to the Tigers at the top of the 14th, had bases loaded with one out, and they still didn't score.
Don't they do that new gimmicky minor league crap where they put a runner on second to start the extra inning? Oh, so they don't do that for the playoffs. Okay.
No.
Anyway, baseball is another thing we covered a little bit in times this year. Hopefully next year we can do more, JT. And actually, if your work and my life doesn't get in the way, we can do more of it.
I know.
Yeah, maybe we can even bring in what people call the real football from across the pond. Some of the soccer for our international people. We've had some interesting times, but I one game I love is the Australian rules football. That's a fun one to watch. The guy on the suit right there. So it's really cool. But hey, we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight, JT. What a hell of a weekend for college football.
Do.
But by the way, you relayed that story. Guess what? At least you were on the stream with Mark sitting there doing your thing.
Yes.
We went to a wedding on Saturday, so I missed most of all of college football. But I've kept up with the stories of what's happened. But I always swore up and down, damn it, don't plan a freaking wedding in freaking football season.
Right.
Yeah. Because as this old story, like the missus says, my sister's remarriage, I said, screw this crap. I kept sneaking out to listen to the Georgia-Tennessee game in the van all throughout it. She's like, where the hell did you go? I said, I'm listening to football. Why do you leave me with your family? I'm like, well, you married into it. I was just kind of like, I gotta keep up the game. She's like, so I always had to think about fall weddings. But I tell you what, our great friends,
you never get married mid-late October in Michigan, because the Michigan State game is always Oh, I don't doubt that Mrs. was 100% right about that.
Well, she did beat the shit out of my leg later because they were singing this song from Oliver, "As He Needs Me." Are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not, but
You're not, and other people. It's basically where the prostitute in the thing is singing about her pimp after she'd been busted up and stuff. And it's like, this girl's singing this at a wedding, and Mrs. like pounding my knee, like, that song. And it's like, well, I mean, yeah, so, but hey, she got her revenge on that moment. But yeah,
wouldn't be my choice to sing at a wedding. I'm just saying.
not at all. I want to sing Macho Man, Macho Man. I gotta be a macho man. Anyway, or like I told Mrs. my theme song, I'm too sexy for this call. Anyway, but sorry, it's been I don't know what's wrong with me today, but hey, we got 6 minutes in, JT. Thank you for that. And like I was going to say, I was really happy to attend this wedding. It was a beautiful wedding. They had some very surprising things in it that were really, really interesting. And it was our friend Liam Gray Wolf and Ashley Slashy, their mom, his mom, Daisy Blossom, our friend, who's on her way back home driving across country. And we pray for their safety. And it was a great time for the missus and I to meet up with all of our friends in real life again. So I would not have missed that wedding for the world. But so I'm a softie. I say no fall weddings, but anyway.
Well, but I agree. No fall weddings.
I agree. Well, you know who says no winter weddings because he's going to be asleep? Snorter Poopus Cuber. Hello, humans and other quitters.
Well, I guess I technically was married in the fall, but it was in December. And, you know.
Isn't that winter up there?
It basically is. I mean, on the calendar, it's still technically fall, but anything after Thanksgiving is winter.
Well, we had potential plans to travel up in Michigan last year after Thanksgiving. And it probably best everything's closed, and apparently it snowed when we would have been up there. So it was like, you know me. So anyway, that was
your
good.
Own happiness. Please don't.
Stay away, yes. And Buddy Hepburn, good to see you, buddy. How are you doing? And as Buddy says, welcome. Please hit the like, subscribe. Yes, 80 y'all go get some people to subscribe. We get us to 750, and we will have a 750 subscriber party. Yes. The missus just finished a Happy Death Day movie. Oh my gosh, it was like her morning stream with all the laughter. I mean, I'm somebody on the phone. We were both hearing her busting out laughing. It was a great stream, missus, just to hearing you laugh as always. So it was really, really. And File 13, hello, dude. ¿Qué pasa? Nada mucho. Hablamos fútbol americano. I'm not sure if that's the right translation, but the words are right. 4 years of Spanish. 4 years of Spanish, man. I can remember a few things.
Everybody's tags on YouTube are broken again.
I see that. B from O. Hey, B from O. Good to see you. Auburn, dude, you guys got hosed this week. We're going to talk about that a little bit. And here she is to save the day. It's the great co-host of Get Over It, Anna's Gameland, who... Well, last week I got over Billy Napier not being fired. This week will be a question of did I really get over it or not? But
I know the answer.
Oh, Buddy said that game was even late for him. And hello, Citrus Lemon Pie. How are you tonight? Good to see you. And love the hello fruitcakes as always. Yes, I was a jerk about that wedding. Yeah, but. Yeah. I was in a bad mood, but it's okay. I will say my wife has done a lot of stuff going above and beyond that. Salute to you, lady. You earned it. Yes, I know. Didn't they know? Actually, they also had an Apple Festival and some other stuff up there that they did not realize was going on at the same time. Where we went, they were wanting $400 a night at a Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah, but you would have gotten a full PhD.
At that price, I should have, but we stayed at a Quality Inn. It was nice. We actually we had a nice stay at a Quality Inn. I'm kind of a hotel snob, but it was a nice, clean hotel. It was comfortable. I mean, it's just really, really good. Yeah, lemon pie. Dadman's jerks. What chicks like. Yeah, yo, homie. Sorry, no lemon pie. Anyway, phrasing. Okay, homie. All right. It's raining, man. Hallelujah. It's raining, man. Anyway, depends when the baby's. Oh, gosh. Wow. Hey, Chewy over on the Twitch side, dude.
Hey,
LSU
dude.
Western football.
Good to see
Chewy
you.
is in the house. I know he's excited about this week because we got a lot to go through this week coming up to their big games. And Atwood, thank you for saying hi before bed, dude.
Appreciate I was just going to say he's doing a drive-by greeting.
Yeah, Atwood. He's stuck it out with the misses. And remember, they have a couple more weeks of movies on Monday and Tuesday nights. A lot of fun. Like I said, it was hilarious to hear her laugh. It was like one of her morning streams today. So, all right. Well, let's hit the ground running, JT. Let's take a quick look at the games that were last week. We will take a look starting with the top 25. Then we'll scan to any. I thought I heard Aang walking in the door. It's like, no, it's just so funny. The kid was always like, "Get out of my room when I'm streaming," and it's like nowadays it's like just walks in.
Get out of my room when I'm streaming.
I know.
Yeah.
Get off my yard.
Although I'll say hi to Aang if Aang comes in. You know,
actually, I just turn off I'd turn the whole stream over to Aang and be fine. Aang, you know, I tell Aang, everybody loves Aang, and I tell them that all the time. So
sure.
Absolutely. All right, let's take a look at these games right now. We've got taking a look at these. Like I said, sorry for the bad graphics. It's not like last year. God, I mean, talk about a week with no time. This was even worse this week. So, folks, we will not be having picks this week. I will have to update our standings after 2 weeks ago when we last met, and then we'll continue next week. Just we will talk about who wins some of these games. Real quick, Ohio State beats 17th ranked Illinois, goes on the road. They handle business. Probably one of the last tough games.
Yeah, quality win for them against a ranked team.
34-16, yeah, exactly. They did win this game on the road. It was a good test, for them. Illinois is not bad still. I know you're not sold on Illinois, but it's it comes through as expected. A lot of people had faith in Illinois that this could be a game Ohio State could struggle with, but they end up winning by 18.
Not really. I mean, yeah, I would say not really. That was about the score I'd expect coming out of that. Not a complete dismantling, but enough.
Yeah. Well, a score that I as hell didn't expect. I saw this when I got back to the hotel room. 7th ranked Indiana goes on to Eugene, Oregon, beats the 3rd ranked Ducks 30-20. What did I say about Indiana? Overrated, didn't deserve the playoffs. Show me when they beat somebody. Well, they beat somebody. So hats off to Indiana. Now their head coach is being talked about for other jobs around the country. Of course, you sort of wonder why you would leave a Big Ten school, but then again, it is Indiana.
Yeah. I mean, you look at that, it's not a final destination school in the Big Ten.
It's like when you coach at Vanderbilt, you better, even though Vanderbilt's in the SEC, you better get out when the getting's good.
Yes. Yes.
It just is what's happened.
Which in a weird way, Florida's kind of one of those schools too, at least if you're Urban Meyer. You pretend it is.
Well, we'll talk more about Florida.
That way too, apparently, if you're Nick Saban.
Nick Saban. I still love that name.
Yep.
One of the great makeup names for all time. Looking at this Indiana-Oregon game, they was really close the whole game, and then Indiana scores the last 10 points of the game with a touchdown with 6:23 left in the game. Fernando Mendoza is a quarterback who came over from California in the transfer portal. And they attacked on a field goal with 2 minutes left for the final margin, 30-20. This game is like this one I did not see coming. I mean, I just, in all honesty, because I had no respect for Indiana based on last year, but give them credit. They go on the road. Fernando Mendoza's 20-31, 215 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Indiana runs for 111 yards, while Oregon's held to 186 yards passing. Dante Moore threw 2 picks in this game, and Oregon only ran for 81 yards. So Indiana actually impressed on the defensive side, which is where they had trouble, I think, in the postseason last year. So your thoughts on Indiana, Oregon?
It was a trap game for Oregon, I think. It's tough to say with teams week to week where they're playing at home or they're not playing at home. But Indiana, I think, has maybe one more good game to give all year that'll surprise you, and then they'll start losing things that they shouldn't for the number they have next to their name.
Were you able to find
Oregon won a big game? The week before?
Yeah, or 2 weeks against Penn State?
Yeah, exactly. So you look at that, and no, it wasn't Penn State.
That was a big game looking back now. When we talk about coaching changes, that was a big game.
It was week 5. Yeah, not week 6. So it was 2 weeks ago, week 5. They went on the road to win at Penn State, and then they had a bye week. So coming off that bye week on a big time win, this was a trap because you had that big break, and then you have another team like this that, yeah. So I actually was not surprised by this at all.
Well, folks, what JT's referring to as trap as a trap game. It's mentioned when a team has played really, really well, really like they get all up for their rival, they have a big emotional win, and then the next game they go in, there's a letdown. The danger that they'll lose or get upset. So that's what JT's meaning by a trap game here. We've got there. And hey, Jess, good to see you, Jess. How are you tonight?
I did find that schedule, by the way.
Ah, cool. Okay, well, we'll take a look at it.
In a way that I think will be easy to look at.
Okay. Like I said, tonight we're going to go through a lot of these games fairly quickly because we have other news. We want to talk about the remaining schedule in the Big 12 tonight. Of course, let's see. 4th-ranked Ole Miss wins a struggle at home against Washington State. Wazoo goes in, nearly pulls off the upset over the 4th-ranked Rebels, but Ole Miss holds on 24-21. It's one of those games as a Gator fan that I'm not sure if I really want Lane Kiffin as my head coach because a tendency to play down to the competition, somebody that doesn't win the big games like somebody else we will talk about very soon. And follow Dave. Hey, Dave. Great to see you. So, yes, the missus brought me back. She can't live without me, you know? Sorry, I'm a little egotistical. Yes, she brought me back. I just trying to mess with Dave a little bit. Yeah. No, because this is a game that surprised me when we looked at Washington State come in 3-2 and really pushed the Rebels hard in this game. And let's see, because we got it here. Ole Miss was up only 17-14 in the third quarter. It was actually trailing in the third quarter, and then. Like I said, with 2:43 left, Washington State pulled them in 24-21. Just, really not. See, that's one thing. What about Lane Kiffin? You get named as coaches for other jobs. And even the NFL out there, Lane Kiffin's name comes up all the time. But then, Wazoo's not very good this year, and yet they struggled to beat Wazoo. Kewan Lacey ran the ball 24 times, 142 yards for Ole Miss. Trinidad Chambliss threw for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, but still they could not put away a Washington State team that came in 3-2. And really, this could be like a trap game looking at Ole Miss. What do you think? And because Ole Miss also they had LSU last week, which they won. And the next game they play on the 18th, which is Saturday, is against Georgia. They're on the road at Georgia.
I don't think that's a trap game. I think Georgia's too legitimate.
Well, no. The Washington State game. This game this week against Washington State was their trap game. They came off the win off LSU. Now they go on the road to Georgia, and sandwiched in between is a very average Washington State team.
Oh yes, then that is definitely a trap game.
Yeah, which you can understand. Yeah.
I was just saying because you've got the Georgia focus ahead, and then you had the big win behind you, and now you have an opponent where is not the same caliber, and you still have to prepare to win, but you're already thinking of Georgia ahead of that. And if you think you're better than the team and you don't really put the focus in, you just leave yourself room to mess up somehow. And it's usually always mentally. That you do it to yourself, and it doesn't take like the coaching staff or the whole team. It just takes a few players that didn't take that opponent seriously enough, And then the
Exactly.
whole offense falls apart, or you give up a 50-yarder in the fourth quarter, something like that.
But the whole point is you win and win. You know, we got 13 people. We got 4 on the Twitch side tonight. Hey, y'all, you guys on Twitch. Yay, and 9 on the YouTube side. If you're on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're on Twitch, also come subscribe to us on the YouTube side. We're trying to get to 750 so we can actually have another celebration. But hey, whether you watch on Twitch or you watch on YouTube, we appreciate it. And I tell you, like Chewy has, we're going to come back to Chewy's comments, folks. If you're on Twitch side, please feel free to comment. We do see it. We will bring that up at times also as the need goes. And like I said, I'll bring discussing Chewy's points. So feel free if y'all want to make other comments. Hey, Wade, Michigan should fire coach, join Penn State. Yeah. Well, that's another rumor. That's another thing we're going to be talking about, coaching changes in just a minute. JT?
Yep.
I had my get over it. And my co-host is here to probably remind me. I said I got over it.
But you need to get over it?
Yeah. Billy Napier does it again. Gators go on the road to Texas A&M. They were 14-14 early in the game, and now they drop a 34-17 game at Texas A&M. 5th-ranked Texas A&M. Florida's falls to 2-4. DJ Lagway's 245 yards in the air, and yet I keep hearing that it's his fault because he's not able to run the offense completely, which then I'm like, Billy Napier, why do you get a 5-star drop back quarterback? You freaking let him drop back and throw the damn ball, and you don't have him running. You let him be a freaking pro-style quarterback. I mean, I actually heard somebody say it's parental mismanagement, parental malpractice.
Well, but did you really think that they were going to beat both Texas teams on their schedule back-to-back like that?
Well, this team was on paper talented enough to do it. Yeah. No, Napier did not win.
2 weeks ago against Tejas.
Yeah. Tejas.
Yes. Unhook 'em horns.
Yeah.
But no, they lost quite handily to A&M.
Yep. I'm going to comment SBD girls comment here about the coach's buyout. So, Dave, yes, let's have Sydney Sweeney coach the University of Florida now. I'm all for it.
I'm all for that too. Didn't we bring that up a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, I fault Dave off on that, but I'm good with. Let's bring in the ladies to do it. At least we might have some more fun than watching this. Yeah, anybody, please. Actually, I've seen a meme about that where he was put on with a Penn State shirt. So. Really, this game is not much to talk about. The Florida fought early, but once again collapsed late in this game. Bringing on more talk about coaching changes. I'll talk about that a little bit later when we talk about the coaching situations. And the Red River, I can't English. Red River.
I'm not going to say it for you. I'm going to force you to do it.
The Red River rivalry. Thank you. Red River rivalry. Texas gets back on the. See, I think Oklahoma is overrated at 6.
Well, they were overrated because they beat Michigan. Yeah, and we'll get to Michigan later on, folks. That is one of the most disgustingly overrated teams of the year.
Dadman is hunting wabbits. Yeah, there you go, Dave. Moving on to SEC, a game that was closer than I think a lot of people picked, but is 8th-ranked Alabama on the road at 14 misery. Alabama squeezes out here with a win by 3 over the Tigers of Mizzou. Your favorite Alabamas keeps climbing back up in the polls. We got Kansas going to Texas Tech. Texas Tech is a hot team in the Big 12. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with them, along with Utah and BYU. But 9th Texas Tech wins going away 42-17. This game I did get to catch the end of, Auburn and Georgia. This game was 10-0 Auburn in the first half. Auburn's driving. Has a touchdown overturned. They said the runner fumbled before crossing the plane to the goal line. And then Georgia was down 10-3 at half, and then ends up winning 20-10.
Sure.
Now, granted, like some people said, there's still enough time in the game. One play shouldn't kill you like that, but that would ball across the goal line. I'm telling you, I agree that should have been an Auburn. And speaking just on time, small time
Republic.
Yes, small time 3. Dude, how are you doing today? What you and B from O, you are resident Auburn fans. Let's hear from you tonight on this. Chewy, I'm coming to you next with LSU. What you think on that? But small time, what about you and B from O? If y'all saw the game, what were your thoughts on that? Because honestly, one play should not change the pace of a game. But then again, you'd be up 17-0 nearing halftime against a ranked opponent at home when you have the home field advantage. It's a significant blow to what had happened to them. But then again, you also look at it. What happened in the second half? Why did Auburn not move the ball? Why did Auburn not score? And yet they give up 17 points in the second half to Georgia. So so there are 2 plays. Yeah, Arnold scored on a play before as well, and then UGA was offsides on the controversial play. Yeah, that's how bad the SEC officiating is that they just it's bad enough. It's one thing to cheat other conferences when they play your schools, but to cheat your own schools, it's just like, because I tell you what, this Auburn team deserves a better fate this year. They really are better than their record. But it goes to the problem of the quarterback Jackson Arnold. I don't think Jackson can throw the football well enough in the SEC. He runs a lot, and against the Georgia defense, he did not. Let me take a look at the stats here. But when I've seen him play in the SEC action, he's struggled to throw the ball well, and which is a back to a historical Auburn problem that's happened with that. So, yeah, and Chewy, I'm starting your comments. We're going to get into those when we get to these here. Yeah, Auburn got hosed. Let's see, he holds on the ball too long. Yeah, he does. He does. Jackson Arnold went 19-31 for 137 yards in this game. I mean, he ran 50 for 55 yards, including a touchdown. Auburn gained 140 yards on the ground, 137 through the air. While Georgia Gunner Stockton was 24-37, 217 yards, and only really 79 yards on the ground for the Dogs. They'd been really run heavy in the last few weeks. So, the refs are worse than the Pac-12 of old. Yes, Wade, I can agree with that. But you just look at this game and this Auburn statistically played well, but in the SEC, I think for sure in the SEC, except for breakdowns that happened like that game last year when Oklahoma just ran it down Alabama's throat, you've got to be able to throw the ball consistently in the SEC. You got to, otherwise you can't survive. That's the problem with Florida. They rely so much on the running and to get into passing situations, and everybody knows what's coming. Of course, when your quarterback your coach on 3rd and 10 decides to throw a screen pass behind the line of scrimmage, that's brilliant. Yeah, nice move, X-Lax. But hey, and Wade did point out something here right about this. I don't know if you saw it, and small time, I'd like your thoughts too. Kirby Smart's going up to an official calling timeout with his hands. And then after the game, they disallowed the timeout, and then afterwards, Georgia got the timeout back because he was saying that the other team was clapping and stuff, simulating the start of a snap.
Were they also shifting?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it could be shitting like Florida, but his hand motions was in a timeout. He was not Why would you go up to an official and clap? He's calling time. It's just, I mean, it's
maybe you love the job they're doing as the official.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but either way, this game illustrates a problem in the SEC with the officials consistently getting involved in games, screwing it up. And when review can't even get a goal line call right, you've got significant problems. Or they call 25 holding penalties. I know Chewy and Small Time can probably attest to it. Some games are like unwatchable because they're throwing so many flags on both teams. Holding is holding, but it's like every little it's like indicting somebody, with a grand jury. You indict a ham sandwich. Well, you can find holding on every play out there. So, yeah, it has to be a timeout or delay a game on one team or the other. Exactly. Kirby could have been 15 yards for being on the field on sportsmanlike conduct. Yeah, it was a free safety clapping, no impact on the line of scrimmage. Yeah, exactly. Where, the thing, if you're up on the line of scrimmage, you're not allowed to simulate the start of a snap if you're on defense. So, but yeah, that's just bad officiating, and it's welcome to the SEC. Yeah, and yeah, we talked about that a minute ago. Ole Miss almost got upset. We'll see how they do this week, see if they'll be up for that road game against Georgia. But Georgia struggles for another win. I tell you, I'm not sure that I'm impressed with this team. Talked to some Georgia fans at the wedding, and they're not happy with Kirby either. The damn field goal that they passed on against Alabama was a big source of consternation. And so my kid hates Mike Bobo up there. A lot of people hate Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator, but Smart is loyal and sticks with people. So, yeah. I mean, it's just, I get it. We've had, in the 80s, we had Mike Shanahan was a frustrating offensive coordinator. You know that name. But in college, player? It was like, no, the Denver coach.
Oh, okay.
The NFL head coach, yeah, exactly. And it was like, it just was 2-yard passes all the time. It was crazy. Yeah, Wade said ESPN has ruined college football.
I think he meant, I don't want to assume too much. I think he meant Disney, the Walt Disney Company ruined college football.
Well, Anna says on top of it, ESPN ruins everything these days. Yes. They're too corporate. I mean, you look at their announcers. JT, I tell you what, I know I suck with English and stuff. Maybe I'm like Harry Carey in a way. I think you and I could do a better job than these damn ESPN announcers on a football game. So a lot of us out there could be.
When they have Tom Brady out there on Fox, they don't set the bar too high, do they?
No. And the fact is they overhype the trivial things. Yeah. And yeah, that loyalty is what I've heard too. Especially
Jack Kirby and Bobo the Clown?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Kirby like, hi Kirby, the video game, the big pink ball.
Yeah.
No, don't get me starting. If Aang
was
around,
that ingests things, and then,
yes,
yeah,
yes, or like Aang does if it was Toad. Hey, Toad. Sorry, anyway, destroy your throat. So.
And good night to the missus.
Yep. Good night, Mrs. Dave said, yeah, because ESPN is Disney rules. Yeah, exactly. So. Yep, exactly. Good night, sweetheart. I mean, if you're gonna lay down out there, that's cool. If you come in here, that's fine. But hey, rest well. I know it's been a busy couple days there. No, Wade. I will say, Wade. I would take Kirby Smart. I would, but he is not perfect. He's showing weaknesses and he's had some problems lately. With game management. My kid's been on his butt. And it's hurt big things like with the defensive coaching staff. That's crazy. Hey, I'm not disrespecting Kirby. I love Kirby. I always beat the crap out of my kids playing Smash Brothers with Kirby. Of course, when I spammed the same move and all, my oldest kid threw the remote down and walked off.
In the real Smash Brothers day, when it was on the N64, Kirby was my guy.
I know.
But they nerfed him in subsequent games, and I've never loved Smash Brothers since.
Yeah, Kirby.
Anyway,
big tough pink ball.
Back to sports ball.
I know. Back to sports ball. We got to get to the top 20. Yep. We got so much. Yep. Okay, because now we talked to our Auburn fans. Got some of their point trivia out there. I'll take a look. South Carolina goes into Baton Rouge.
Oh, did you want to bring up leaderboard? There we go. There we go.
It's like a repeat of Florida LSU. LSU wins 20-10 over South Carolina. Garrett Musmeyer throws for 254 yards, folks. Again, LSU's being carried by their defense. It's going to be a year for them. And maybe that's better for them. They've had the powerful offenses in the past to let their defense let them down. That this year, it's more of a defensive team, which I can deal with that. I can deal with an average offense, which they really have been. I mean, Garrett Nussmeier's been disappointing in terms of point production and yardage production, but they're winning. They're 5-1. I mean, that's the thing. But
do you put LSU at number 10? That's safe for Brian Smelly. Be number 10 at this point in the season.
Yeah, you keep, the thing is, you keep winning out and playing for the postseason. Looking at the numbers, Nussmeier, once again, every time I look at his stat line, the number of interceptions he throws, that to me is one of the concerning things with him. He turns the ball over too much. 20 of 33, 254, 2 touchdowns, but 2 more picks. Lenora Sellers, 15 of 27, 124 yards, very pathetic. Less than 10 yards of completion of pick. Look, what's happened to Shane Beamer? This team started in the top 10, has just plummeted out. I mean, is he going? And this is another coach that you need to look at being on the hot seat. I think I said that a few weeks ago, because that's a big problem when a coach has a promising season and all this hype, and then just plummet. I mean, it's different when you're Notre Dame, because Freeman was in the playoff. Making the playoffs means nothing. Apparently, we'll talk about. But Freeman at Notre Dame had the losses early. They fell down. Texas had the losses. They fell out of the top 25. So it can't be done. But another coach on the hot seat. If nobody's talking about it, I'd look for Shane Beamer to be on a hot seat. He'll survive this year, but he better advance next year. So, yes, small town republic. His might be a chance, because where his dad spent so many years, that might be a time for him to go if an option. Because this season probably pissed off a lot of those South Carolinians. And look, they started a civil war. Don't mess with them in their football and their mascot Cocky. Because we all know Cocky, and any people with a mascot named Cocky, just enough said. So, what's there to talk about, Wade? We will mention the coaching change though in a bit. So, Chewy said the offense did okay, but the red zone execution was not good. Game felt more of a blowout, but the turnovers messed everything up. But Sellers and offense had one huge play, and after that, the fumble when Fuller had the long run. Yeah, it just those are frustrating games too when you feel like you left points on the board that you should have beaten somebody a lot worse than what you did. So, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. But hey, look for South Carolina to be on Shane Beamer. Like I said, it makes sense if he took the job at Virginia Tech where his father was, because he is crashing down to 3-3, and you better get out when the getting's good. Speaking about getting on the out, Arkansas had fired Sam Pittman. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. Last week, so we get the return of Bobby Petrino. You know what, small town republic? I damn well second that. Those friggin' Northwestern people deserve. Well, some Cajun talking about that. Okay, right. Go Beavers. I will say.
Can you do that again?
I'm just saying, man, go Oregon State. Go Beavers. Damn, you've been working hard. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
See, remember that like Ed Orgeron, with the Louisiana, looks like saying, teach him go good, double jambalaya, go Beavers.
But he's confused.
Yeah, exactly. That guy in the Wonder Boy. That's Ed Orgeron. Listen, Ed Orgeron had all these things. I will tell you, I hated him being fired from LSU because I will say he loved LSU. He was always go Tigers. I love his passion for his team. So I love Beavers. So Ed Orgeron, you go to Oregon State and give them the Southern hospitality and make those Beavers happy. Creole Dadman, that went all back. Oh my God. Folks, this is what I say. We're out to make football fun for everybody. If you got questions about the games, points about the games themselves, please feel free to share. If you got questions about that, this is Dadman Cajun, so so jambalaya, add to fair, so yeah, well, also, go Beavers. So.
Exactly.
I think we've lost. Okay,
exactly.
Good. I was thinking we'd lost you, JT. But anyway, Chewy, thanks for that input on that game. I'm really, I don't. We're going to come back to your other comments earlier. Jess has a comment. Let me see. I'm going to pick this one up real quick. Chewy said he saw glimpses of LSU South Carolina game. It's somewhat a trap game because of the Ole Miss loss. Vandy on the road around the corner. Yeah, Vanderbilt is also favored over LSU this week. Go believe it. Vandy is actually favored over LSU. Never thought I'd live to see that. Offense looked a little bit better, but 3 critical turnovers. Juwan Johnson had a fumble and would have been a touchdown, but loses possession and Ness throwing 2 ends through. Though the one near the goal line was what people were angry about. Yeah, and I tell you, that's the biggest criticism with Nussmeier: ball security and really bad turnovers in his. And that he keeps committing. So, all right, let's see. Yeah, we'll go back. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, you like Dadman language. Getting through the rest of the top 20.
It's better than your French. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Parlez-vous français? Comment allez-vous? Anyway, with that game, LSU does extend.
The scoreboard up.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
If you could, pretty please.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We got moved on to Tennessee, Arkansas. Bobby Petrino now back head coach of Arkansas, which is what a lot of people expected the plan was last year when he was brought on as offensive coordinator under Sam Pittman. 31 points, good game on the road at Tennessee, but the Vols hold tight at home, continue winning. Only the loss at home to Georgia, which was a very disappointing loss that they had. Virginia Tech on the road at 13th-ranked Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is a fun team to watch. Yeah?
We can't see it still.
I pushed the button. There you go.
There we go.
All right, folks.
I figured you did, but it just didn't work.
No, I know. It's the damn technology's fault. So, but hey, we got Virginia Tech at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech extends. They're also an undefeated team, 35-20. I really like watching Georgia Tech. They're a fun team to watch if you have the wrong button. It's the technology's fault.
It's the one labeled Harvey.
Yeah. Well, there's not much to say about in this game. Haynes King throws for 213 yards. Georgia Tech, I think, is a surprise team in the ACC this year. So
I was going to say, what is that, the ACC? They're really just kind of sorting through who's going to have any chance at the playoffs.
And we'll take a look at the standings around the conferences more tonight than we will a lot at the looks of the game. Buddy, say you did it. Button didn't understand whatever language that was. Oh God. Okay. But that being said, we got look, I want to let you talk about this game. Your favorite Michigan, 15 ranked on the road at Southern California, a game that used to be only played in the Rose Bowl. USC crushes Michigan and their $12 million quarterback who ditched LSU for Michigan. USC wins this game 31-13. JT, did you have any thoughts?
So after Michigan State went out there for that, I don't know what that was, 4 a.m. kickoff on Sunday morning or whatever they tried to sell us and just got their butts kicked. USC, I was very happy to see Michigan go there with their vaunted number by their name and had to endure the crap at the water cooler. Not anymore. Nope. They proved that USC probably should have been ranked before now. And the USC is just capable at beating up on the middle teams in the Big Ten.
Which Michigan really probably is more of a middle team. Michigan is, yes. I think Michigan's higher based on the schedule.
But not anymore. Not after this loss.
But again, it also factors in the whole thing about the $12 million quarterback. I mean, you were paying these kids on the stuff, all these ridiculous things, not having ever done anything. And I'm going to touch on Jess's comment about the buyouts too later, because of that whole thing. We're paying people to do stuff that had not ever done this stuff before at these levels. I mean, $12 million for a freshman coming out of high school, just based on pure potential. I mean, it's like this year, Michigan should ask for a refund.
Michigan's great at picking bad quarterbacks that are freshmen too, by the way. Historically, they've done a horrible job at picking a starting quarterback as a freshman and just going with it. Yep. So why they did that again and pay the $12 million, I can't tell you, Dadman.
Had more money than sense. Yeah.
All I can tell you is this game made me laugh, because I was like, oh yeah, they couldn't do it either. Not only that, I believe Michigan State outscored Michigan against USC.
Yeah, they probably did.
But this has more ramifications for the conference, because if you want, we can look at Michigan's schedule going out the rest of the year, and how I think this game made them kind of
we'll look at what that record that you have. We'll look at what you had, that schedule. Yeah, go Nads. They're always playing hard. For you that do not know, he's talking about the Rhode Island Institute of Technology. You can look it up on your own. Yeah. By the way, Bryce Underwood was 15 of 24, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. I mean, there's your $12 million quarterback. He ran 5 times.
$12 million man. Yeah. Isn't that the movie?
And it's hard to take these people serious. Always it was before. These are kids, amateurs. They're not. When you're paying them this kind of money, it's just not. USC amassed about 500 yards total offense, 265 through the air. Jaden Mavia, 25 of 32, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. King Miller ran for 158 yards for USC. Just a dominating performance by the Trojans over the Michigan Wolverines.
So does this mean that the quarterback is in a two-parter of the $6 million man?
I don't know. I just had a bad thought pop in my head.
Okay.
With this game, because of Fallout Dave with his gonads and the Trojans, just
you know what they should do is make his pay a fraction. So like if you win one game, it's 1/12 of 12 million.
Yep.
And
I can agree.
You have to win every game to get all 12 million.
Yeah,
that's what I think. But they'll never get there. They'll never get there.
Getting there, let's get through the rest of the top 25. BYU comes back 2 scores down. Bear, I just call him Bear for BYU. The quarterback reminds me of Tim Tebow, folks. Watch this BYU team. They are fun to watch. They really, really are fun to watch. And it reminds me of Tim Tebow at Florida, watching this kid play. Same type of style. Double OT. They were down by 2 scores, and they rallied and won in double overtime. Yep, exactly. So, yeah, buddy, I agree with this. When guys are millionaires before even stepping onto a college field, even for practice, it's too out of hand. And the way it was is LSU was offering a boatload of money too. So, I see that Fallout, Dave. Nice play. Chewy said earlier about Vanderbilt being favored as they coming off the bye week and the loss against Bama. Even then, LSU does face A&M, which was announced for prime time. But this game against the Commodores can come down to both execution, turnovers, and how each team deal in the red zone. Pavia is not bad under center, but Vandy's defense does have a weakness if LSU plays his card right. Yes, exactly. That's been traditional Vandy's defense and depth. Pavia, the only thing with him is he needs to get his ego in check a little bit, because of the pregame warm-up stuff he was doing at Alabama. Really made social media afterwards, practicing the knee, taking the knee stuff and all that stuff, and so I'm really showy about it. But hey, it's fun.
That stuff bothers you way more than it bothers me. I don't even look at it, and I don't. Yeah, I just don't care about all the drama around it. I just like whatever.
Look, drama surrounds my life. I live for drama. Bullshit. All right. Drama at work. Yeah, especially. Notre Dame, your favorite team, wins easily over NC State. Again, they're playing nobody in the world.
You got to play a real team at this time of year.
36-7. Yeah, 36-7. They win. BYU, again, ekes this game out in overtime. Utah goes on the road, actually at home, beats the crap out of 21st ranked Arizona State, who was playing without their starting quarterback. saved for this week for a bit. Texas Tech. They lose. Utah wins 42-10, setting up the Holy War, as they call it, in Utah between Utah and BYU on Saturday night. 22nd ranked Iowa State loses and Boulder 24-17. Deion's team come back. They win this week.
A lot of on-field drama. They win this week.
Yeah, it will be. And a game. Goodbye, Florida State from the top 25. How the mighty have fallen. Now unranked. 34-31, losing at home to Pittsburgh. Or as my friend and I used to call them, Schittsburg. But it's really, really fun. Times as a Gator fan, hey, if we can't win, it's good to see FSU lose too. Although one Gator fan said, how the hell are we supposed to enjoy a Florida State loss when we're playing as bad as we are? JT, you got anything on UCLA, Michigan State?
I just saw I couldn't watch it because it was on a network that I don't pay an extra special rate to get. So I was like, well, they already are a bad football team. And sure enough, reading the post game on this, people writing stories on this said it felt like Michigan State just gave up before the end of the game. It's like, the score kind of indicates that. And maybe next year. I will say, though, that losses like this, it's no surprise that they had decommits this week.
I'm just surprised that Jonathan Smith is having this much trouble up in Big Ten country. I really, really am, because he really was a great coach at Oregon State.
This isn't even Big Ten. He should know how to, because wasn't UCLA a Pac-12 team?
Yeah.
So he should know how to play USC and UCLA and all
here's how bad it was. Nico went 16-24, only 180 yards, 3 touchdowns. But Michigan State played the backup quarterback quite a bit. Aiden Childs was 8 of 17, 66 yards. And Alicia Milivojevic, God. Okay.
Yeah, they need like 3 or 4 playmakers. They just need new ones. I don't think you're going to find it when you keep having decommits.
Okay. This is a name that's going to be interesting, because I will bring up our friend Anna if she's still out there too. Alessio Milivojevic.
I don't know if you want me to say the name that I call him.
No, probably not.
A certain Yugoslavian gentleman.
Yeah.
Maybe not so gentle, but
yeah. Milivojevic. I don't know. Maybe it's close enough, but anyway. But yeah, that was a backup.
Milovic. What they're saying. Yeah, but I don't know if that's even right.
Yeah, but anyway, still bad performances by the Michigan State quarterbacks. Dropped to 0-3 in the Big Ten. Hey, UCLA now on a roll, 2 in a row and 2-1 in the Big Ten. Wouldn't that make great if they could make the Big Ten championship game? I hear that. Yeah. Chewy saying, though, by the way, the Big Ten may be a bit more wide open now with Texas Tech, QB being out. Not sure if there's a major injury, but a race between BYU, Tech, and now Cincy, Utah, now into the chats. Houston, though, losing to Texas Tech, not really out of it in terms of who will be playing for the Big 12 championship. That's what's so cool. That's got to be exciting football when it comes down to the end of the season like that. And because we're halfway point, folks, and we're nearing the end. And it's a lot of that's why we're going to take a look at the standings in just a minute. We're going to look at more than we are necessarily the games tonight. So we're going to take a look at that. So let me just flip through. Let's see. I'm just going to take a look. Cincinnati beats UCF 20-11. SMU crushes Stanford 34-10. Just taking a look around quickly. This is why we had to look beyond the Northwestern goes on the road to Happy Valley, where it's not so happily now. Upsets Penn State 22-21. What the hell happened here, Moses?
22-21.
22-21.
Yeah, not 42-21. He would have been fired after the first quarter if that were the case.
Well, he was pretty much dead man walking, but Penn State falls to 0-3 in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
0-3 in the Big Ten. 3-3 overall. 0-3. See, he can't. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry for cutting you off there. I was just going to say, when you lose to Northwestern like that, you were what, number 2 or number 3 in the country, and then you go ahead and lose to Northwestern. I would be thinking I'm getting fired too.
I mean, God, folks, Northwestern are the Wildcats at the bottom 10. I mean, this is a team. Look at that. Northwestern 4-2, 2-1 in the Big Ten. What a freaking surprise. I mean, that's a surprise. I mean, in Penn State, 0-3 in the Big Ten. Now, I know that it goes down to who you play. Penn State had to play Oregon.
At home. At home.
I know, JT. I'm just trying to be gracious with this. So, and Drew Allard has been got hurt, and is out for the rest of the season. So it's just going to get worse for Penn State as the season goes. But more on that when we talk about the coaching changes that have come up. But JT, what was your reaction when you saw that? Because there were 2 games that caught my attention. Watching Indiana beat the crap out of Oregon, I'm like, whoa, hey, what that? But this, like, I nearly shit the bed with that, because it's like, it's really, because it was like, what the heck? Nobody could have seen this coming and predicted it. I really don't think so.
You know, it surprised me, but it didn't shock me that he got fired. Can I put it like that?
Yeah, but the game itself. Could you have ever seen this coming?
I would have 99 out of 100 times taken Penn State. Seriously, I would have. I did not see this one coming at all. Like, if we had done picks last week, it would have been both of us picking Penn State. Let's move on.
I know. Well, hey, that is insane. I will tell you, but hey,
the fact you could win only scoring 22 points in a game is rare.
Yes, exactly. Small Time said, think Penn State was not. Yeah, 15 days before he got fired, they were number 2 in the nation, and then just 3 games in a row, they just lost. And one of them was a close loss, that game against Oregon, though. But I tell you, it goes back to not winning the big game. That's the biggest problem. That's why I do not want him in Gainesville.
I almost wonder if there's another reason, though, Dadman. I mean, you were number 2, and then you lose 2 games, and you fall off the rankings with 2 losses. Meanwhile, Notre Dame is like, what, 0-3 or something, and they're still ranked?
They were 0-2. They lost 2, but yeah. No, I got you.
It's like, okay, so how did you drop off the rankings already? I think there was something in the water.
Well,
that people knew that we didn't necessarily know.
Well, Penn State won 3 games at home: Nevada, FIU, Villanova. Then they finally played Oregon at home, lose that game. Then they go on the road to UCLA. Game. Well, see, UCLA ended up a 5-point game, but they were down so far early that. And then losing this game at home to Northwestern, that's just like, it's just insane. So JT, you're saying you call it Milosevic, okay? I thought
the Yugoslavian.
I thought I was going to get
the 1990s guy. Okay.
I thought I was going to get help from Anna about that name, but no. Instead, oh my God, it's Nico Amaliva. Yep. Nico Amaliva, exactly. That just tell the people in Tennessee that's what happened last year, right, JT? They left and he left, and they were happy.
The surprise game of the week that you didn't bring up, but I know that you love these teams. Iowa at Wisconsin, Iowa 37, Wisconsin donut hole.
Why? I mean, why would anybody on offense, unless you're a running back, ever go to Wisconsin? It's like, it just
37.
But yeah, I mean, Iowa 37 points. That's like, man,
Wisconsin's 0.
Yeah, but I'm stuck with Iowa. You're stuck on the 0. I'm stuck on Iowa scoring 37 against anybody, especially when they're quarterback. Let's look at the damn stat line on this one. Mark Gronkowski for Iowa throws a big 107 yards.
Push the button.
I hate that.
Dadman.
I will. I'm trying to do the thing where I'm making sure I see what comes up just in case.
Yeah.
Make sure my web history's. Anyway, I'm kidding. That's a bad joke. Actually, it happened to my kid one time when somebody at college was doing a presentation, and they're sitting there like, dude, your browser history's open.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, Gronkowski, 17 completions for 124 on 24 attempts, 107 yards. God. But 210 yards running the ball. This is but hey, give him
Hunter
credit.
Simmons,
8
8
of
for
21,
21,
82 yards. Yep.
two interceptions. Yeah.
God, you knew this is painful. But hey, Iowa's still in it. I mean, this could be if the problem is that Ohio is so much ahead of everybody else in the conference. But we'll take a look at the standings in a minute. Let me get through the last couple games real quick, because then we take a look and see where everything's sitting with the standings. Because I want to touch on that. I want to see where, and I look at the poll rankings, and I want to talk about the coaching changes, and then we'll wrap up. Just going through really quickly, Nebraska beat Maryland 34-31, a good win for Mark Rule on the road. Now there's talk about him at Penn State. Because that's where he used to go. Good win for Nebraska on the road. Wake Forest. Okay, Wade, you better be here. You want a Beaver talk? I got Beaver talk. Wake Forest.
Wade's been in the chat today.
Yeah, I know. I hope he's still here, because he said earlier no Beaver talk. Well, Wake Forest goes on the road with a backup quarterback and beats the Beavers, spanks the Beavers 39-14, and then we have another coaching change, except not in Gainesville, Florida. UNLV, Dan Mullen, who should have never been fired from the University of Florida, wins 51-48 in a shootout with the Air Force Academy, And looking at that, that's probably Clemson beats Boston College 41-10. And I think that's, folks, missed something. Minnesota beats Purdue 27-20. Minnesota's having a very good year. Wyoming beats San Jose State 35-28 in a game for Buddy Hepburn out there. So if there's any other games y'all want to talk about, let me know. We can go over there. Beavers, yes, the Oregon State Beavers. Remember you put in for that's all right. FTF, go to Oregon. We're gonna have those Beavers. Go Beavers. What am I? Yeah,
everyone was putting in the is this a family show stuff, and kept going.
Yeah, push the button. Streets. Anyway, but hey, yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to look up that, but I would think I probably, with a name like that Gronkowski. I don't know, JT, if you want to check on that for me, if the Gronkowski quarterback is related to the tight end for the Patriots. So, but yeah. No, we are a family show. I talk about the Beavers because they're one of my teams that I stick with. So I can't help it what you people think. God, my wife's always like,
they are.
Are you saying you people?
It's not the same name. It's Gronowski versus Gronkowski.
I thought it was Gronkowski. Anyway, okay, my bad for misreading it.
Gronow.
Gronowski, yes, Gronowski. Yes. An O instead of a K. Thank you, JT, for catching that. I have thought for weeks it was Gronkowski, but let me go back real quick. Let me get some of the starred chats before we go into this week's rankings. Chewy said earlier he cannot wait for October 25th. Memphis is now in the rankings in South Florida. That would be a possible elimination game for a group of 5 teams that want to stay in the hunt for the playoffs. That's very, very true. I think that Memphis is a better team. Memphis has much better offense than South Florida does, at least from what I saw. You got to play the game on the field. So, and Tree said he was surprised. I was surprised with Penn State, not with the latest loss, but firing Franklin when they did. The starting QB gets injured, lost in terms of who has the money. They thought timing was right to get the firing done, and when they did, by the way, I was not impressed with Ole Miss winning against Washington State because they had a big win against LSU, and had they lost, boy, wouldn't press the panic button, but their defensive flaws showed yet again. Very good comments with that. We got Jess said, I know it's NFL, but what do you think of the fight of KC Detroit game? Are the Bears getting Bears getting a field goal last night to win by a point? I missed the game last night, and that's near over, but that's a dramatic thing. Hey, go for your Bears. Good Bears. I know you're a big Bears fan, Jess. JT, did you see the fight? I didn't see this.
No,
fight, but I know
everybody in my fantasy football team and I turned it off in the third quarter and said, I got better things to do with my Monday night or Sunday night. And I did, because I went on Mark D with the C's until 2:30 in the morning talk in New York Comic-Con.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
that was a better spend on my Sunday. So I did not see any fights, but I hope there wasn't any because I had two good friends move from Detroit to Kansas City a couple years ago now, almost, and so they were wearing the Honolulu blue going into the stadium, and she is about 7 months along. So I really hope there was no fighting. So.
I know. Well, no, we didn't see it, Jess. We'll have to take a look at that. But yeah, there's been all these things happening lately with these teams, and but Jess also said that her uncle agrees with me about the buyout prices for coaches ridiculous, and the way pay players now get them free agent is ruining the game. We're going to talk more about the coaching buyouts when we talk about coaching changes, but still. Yeah, we talked about it with the $12 million Michigan quarterback, and these quarterbacks are 1 year and they're somewhere else. Florida had a linebacker now at LSU. There's no loyalty. It's like bouncing. It's truly unrestricted free agent. What's that?
I wouldn't care if I were that player. $12 million when you're 18. Yeah, I mean, you could buy a house except for like California or some stupid place like that where it's not going to buy you a shack. I mean, $12 million out my way, you can buy a mansion with less than half of it and then put the rest in the bank, and you're good to go for a nice long time.
But I agree with her uncle. The changes are ruining this game. I mean, the way that they can just jump ship 1 year. I mean, it's one thing when the coach leaves, they should have the ability to move or something. But this, like, it's who will pay you more from year to year. It really is. But I hate that.
You don't even do that in the NFL.
Yeah. No, they don't. They have rules on they have rules on free agency. So there was a fight between players, JT. I didn't see it though.
Okay.
I didn't see, but I don't doubt it.
Well, I did watch the game and the refs blew 2 or 3 big calls early on. And then after that I was like, oh, okay. Okay.
JT, we may have to take a little bit of a detour here. Anna said General Maximus Axel Booty is a good name for an American football player. Well, funny you should say that because there was a Josh Booty at LSU years ago, and there's a General Booty also out there in college football.
Yes.
I think he was at Ole Miss, or was he at LSU or something? But yeah, Booty has been a name. Now General Maximus is kind of cool, but
oh yeah, hell yeah, that's cool.
That's a name for USC Trojans,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or even the coach. Go figure. Nice name, but all right. Well, let's take a look at the top 25 real quickly. We'll go through here with what's here. We're really mostly paying attention to the AP poll. On the left, really what matters is the playoff poll coming in a few weeks. But Ohio State, once again, it's still amazing they're not unanimous number one, but still Ohio State number one by margin, Miami number 2. Indiana moves up 4 spots to number 3.
Three people were high when they said Indiana was number 1.
Yeah,
they were.
Yeah, but Jess said Mahomes went to shake a hand. Detroit guy blew him off, so one of the other KC guys called him out. Detroit guy shoved him in the face, then a big group fight. Okay.
Okay, so something stupid at the end.
Yeah, General Booty was at UL Monroe. Thank you, small time. Yeah, Josh Booty's nephew. Yeah, that probably is right. When you have a name like Booty and you're in the South, odds are you're related. But okay, Texas A&M moves up to 4th. Man, talk about a team that did nothing under Jimbo Fisher. Now Mike Elko, their coach, he's only in the 3rd season. Now they're talking about his name with now they're talking about his name being associated with the Penn State job.
Why leave? See, this is what gets me. I don't think the Penn State's a bigger job.
No, even though it's in the Big Ten.
I would say don't leave.
Yeah.
At all.
You'll get paid well. Their whole thing is make the SEC championship game and get the playoffs because they spent too much money on Kevin Sumlin and then Jimbo Fisher, and got nothing for it. But we'll see. I don't think this team will fall off. I mean, they handle Florida really well, so that's a good sign. We got Ole Miss number 5, which again, Lane Kiffin played down to the competition. We'll see what they do on the road at Georgia.
Slightly surprises me, but I have seen 2 Ole Miss games this year, and when they woke up from their slumber in both games, they firmly had each one in control. So again, kind of surprises me. I think this will be in the top 4, the one that will look for them to fall off and fall off quickly if they lose.
Yeah. It's if he beats Georgia on the road, then I'll believe it. That's the biggest. I've always had the problem with Lane Kiffin that I've had with James Franklin. Although Kiffin has started beating a couple teams, but still, I even as a Gator fan, I'm like, I want him mostly because he's not Billy Napier. And it's like, I mean, anything's got to be better than this crappy clap shift offense, So, but Alabama, your favorites, back up to 6. Here they go. They will not go away. When a few weeks ago, everybody had them firing their head coach and everything else, all the panic, but they've righted the ship. They're moved up to 5-1 to even beat Georgia in the time span. Texas Tech, one of the unsung teams from the Big 12, 6-0. Oregon falls 5 spots to number 8. Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, 9, 10, 11. A really SEC-dominated poll. Georgia Tech. Looks like Georgia Tech, Miami and Georgia Tech, you got 2 ACC teams in the top 12. You got Notre Dame now back up to number 13 at 4-2. Oklahoma fell 8 spots, the big loser of the week. Of course, our friend Sam, BYU, I just found out she's not going to get to watch the game against Utah. Everybody else made the decision that's got them going out, poor thing. So we'll keep her updated. That's going to be a heck of a game, BYU Utah this week. Missouri falls 2 spots. Of course, Vanderbilt's now back up 3 at 5-1. Damn. And Virginia at 5-1. I'm just looking at rounding out top 25. Nebraska finally enters the poll. Matt Rule, the long-suffering Husker fans now got to be happy, but we'll see. Take a look at the Big 12 schedule. Like I said, Utah's in the poll, but, big game with BYU this week. Texas enters the poll again. USC debuts at number 20. So, any thoughts on this before we jump into the Big 12 schedule?
Because I know we're running long. Notre Dame, I think, is way too high. Georgia Tech is probably about right, but not relevant. Oklahoma, that's, I think, about where they'll finish on the year, is 14th. BYU and Missouri, I think, maybe deserve to be a little bit higher than they are. The next 3, don't care. USC, I think, is too low. Texas is way too low. I think they should swap spots with Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is way too overrated as a 4-2 team playing a bunch of frauds. And Texas has had to, their embarrassing loss was Florida, but the other loss against Ohio State was okay. So I think those 2 teams should swap. And then I think Utah is, I see them with a higher ceiling than where they're at.
Plus, also about Texas is that they lost on the road to Florida. You got to figure, even though USF won at Florida, still it's a road game against a legitimate opponent. When they're coached right, people refer to Florida beating Texas as Billy Napier's "you can't fire me" game. One game a year, you can't fire me. Anyway, that's their top 25 real quick, folks. JT, do you have
Nebraska at 25 is a bit surprising. I don't know where they pulled that out of their hat. I would have thought Illinois
and Michigan both fell out. They both fell out. Yep.
Yeah.
So do you have, any thoughts on the top 11?
Like the top 11? I think Tennessee is probably better than Alabama, and LSU is probably better than Alabama. Alabama should not be in 6th at all, but the name carries it. And I see Oregon sneaking their way up higher as the season goes on. I think Ole Miss doesn't stay there at 5 for long.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. Sorry, JT. I got distracted by the chat. This happened earlier. These shows always go adult.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I missed that. Small times like he tries to be PG and Benny Hill. What the? I need a little short little guy around here bat him on the head then. And then of course I think that's what Anna then said. Yep. Oh gosh, you guys. But hey, that's fun. Hey, and he does say that Washington should be 5-1. Washington's had a good year in the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's a stealth team. I think that they'd be that perfect trap game for these top 10 type teams.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of the Big 10, let's talk about the Big 10
You did
tonight.
it again.
I know. Let's talk about the Big 10. Were you able to find the remaining schedule in the Big 10?
I was.
Okay,
Would you like me to share that out? And we can.
Yes, please. Yes,
we can do a little talk through it. Okay.
Yeah, because what you'll do, I'm going to pull up the standings by conference. I'm going to have the Big 10 ready to go.
One, this one here. Okay.
So we do this. Let me do this. I'm trying to work on this other screen over here. Okay.
Sure.
There we go. I got folks currently in the Big 10. What we have, in this particular thing, they have Indiana higher than Ohio State, probably because of points.
13 more points for.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So basically, Indiana and Ohio State are a push. Both are undefeated 3-0 in the conference, followed by USC. The Trojans are 3-1 with the Ducks at 2-1. Michigan, Northwestern, the Road Jam, Michigan, Northwestern, Nebraska, Washington, Iowa, Minnesota, and UCLA all 2-1. So we'll look at the remaining schedules out, kind of look at especially between USC and Minnesota.
A 9-way for like 4th place.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll have this up. Illinois is at 2-2. They're pretty much out now. Terrapins are 1-2, followed by Sparty, Nittany Lions, Rutgers, and Purdue.
Can you keep scrolling a little bit? Yes, I don't think you're all the way at the bottom.
And Wisconsin. Pisconsin, 93 points on 93 points.
I wanted
to
talk about the bottom of this, Dadman,
sure,
if I may, for a minute.
Okay, let me. Okay, go ahead.
This era could mean the end for a number of these programs, and you're looking at 3 historically top end Big Ten schools that are bordering on just being completely irrelevant. And while you might say I'm making this up, Michigan State really suffered at the last 2-3 years of D'Antonio after making that national championship and winning the Rose Bowl. His whole exit was amateurish at best and really hurt the program. Then you get somebody in there who was paid way too much out of Colorado, did a whole bunch of HR policy violations, got himself out of there. Now you have Oregon State and a lot of decommits going to this school. And you talk teams in schools that have the money and those that kind of almost have the money. Well, the teams with the almost have the money are just going to be the punching bags that might occasionally get ranked enough to help Ohio State stay at the top. Penn State, you might think I'm making it up, but they just fired their coach. Rutgers has never been a football school. Purdue never. They've long time since they've been a legitimate football school. Wisconsin, ever since they lost Bielema, it's been a question mark. But even 10 years ago, they were a powerhouse. So you're looking at these teams and looking at these programs and sitting here wondering if you are halfway through the season almost and you have not won a conference game. If I'm a 16-year-old, 17-year-old saying, why would I play here unless you pay me more money? I don't want to come here.
And these are big names because Michigan State, Penn State, I'd never asked me 20 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm like, they'd never be behind Minnesota or Illinois or Maryland. It just is. It's Rutgers at least has Greg Schiano, but I think reality is hitting them now, entering the real world of a real conference schedule. They've lost 3 in a row. And Purdue has not been really, I mean, Jim Everett went years, but then there were a few years with Braum, I think, in the
Well,
2000s. But but when you watch, I think Penn State will be back. They won't stay down too long, but probably the two programs of the most heartbreaking fall off is Michigan State and Wisconsin. I mean, these
right.
teams are not even being competitive these days.
And look, they have a lot of professional athletes, a lot of boosters with money. I mean, Magic Johnson, the billionaire, single-handedly or like renovated almost, not single-handedly, but
Yeah,
instrumental in renovating the football stadium.
yeah,
He
yeah,
he says something and the university says yes sir, and
yeah,
I know Wisconsin's got their own versions of that, but you only have those every so often and for so many things. You're not going to get Magic Johnson pulling out his pocketbook to start paying a quarterback $17 million a year, because that's what you had to pay to get him to come to your school in the north, in bad weather that doesn't win football games like this, without rules on contracts and
yeah,
free agency and all the rest. These
yeah,
teams have maybe one more year before all these 3 and 4 star recruits, not
mhm.
even the quote unquote 5
Well,
star, they're just going to start decommitting, and they're going to
yeah,
say, well, Illinois is scrappy, USC is in a beautiful part of the country, they're not Ohio State,
yeah.
but
But
they have
see,
money,
even
money,
even
and
even UCLA saving the season. Nico, I'm going to leave you. You know, I mean, they've won two in a row with its coaching change. I mean, you do things like that, whatever it takes. I mean, they still are on the borderline of being irrelevant. Also, great programs and that kind of history, but and that's what I worry about Florida. You become irrelevant so long, people are gonna start skipping you. You can't be the Dallas Cowboys and live on what you did 30 years ago. You've got to be with the
right.
times, and you've got to stay competitive. You can't keep saying, "Well, it takes 4 years to build a program." You don't have 4 years. You've got to get in there now.
And it's your brand that
Mhm.
is really at risk right now,
Yeah.
and
Hey, come to
these
our
athletic
university. We suck.
directors,
Yeah.
yeah, they don't get it. And I'll go back to this whole schedule thing. Put them on TV. Michigan State, you'll see it. A lot of these Big Ten teams that aren't the big teams will go on Fox one week, Big Ten Network the next week, CBS the next week, Peacock the next week, Fox Sports the week after that. Then they'll be on ESPN another week. Then they'll be on
Yeah.
the Big Ten Network streaming only service, which has nothing to do with the Big Ten
Yeah.
Network. And you look and you're like, I pay $70 a month for Hulu or YouTube TV,
Mhm.
and I still don't get a quarter of the games.
Right. Right.
Um, you just don't care. And if you're 14 or 15,
Well,
you who are you going to ask mom and dad to help you
yeah.
watch on TV?
Yeah.
Ohio State or Michigan State?
And I tell you
Um,
what, I think conference
yep.
over expansion has hurt. I mean, like Small Time says, Shiano admitted Rutgers is behind on NIL. I think Florida is supposedly, which is shocks the hell out of
Uh,
me, how a school with that kind of booster and everything else is behind on anything. And I agree. I think the problem is these bigger conferences, whether it's the SEC and the ACC, they need to go back down to 12 teams. They need to just contract a bit, get rid of the Vanderbilts, the Vanderbilts, maybe the South Carolinas, teams like that, out of these leagues. Like Small Time, I agree. Rutgers should be in the American Conference. That would be a better competitive balance for them. Yeah, not the same type of competition, not the same name of a conference, but then again, they also deal with basketball and other sports. So,
and
Buddy said,
the death spiral is real
mm-hmm,
for these
yeah.
programs,
Look,
and they don't think it. They don't know it. They don't think it. They don't want to
I
say that.
attended a university. Jacksonville University is famous for 1970, the year I was born, with Artis Gilmore going to the national championship game, losing to UCLA. That school lived on that one year all the way through the 80s. And as the conferences and all the schools passed them by, the small private school and then they looked down on the local other university, and now they're in the same rent a bum conference, and
Right.
but they
Right.
lived on
And
their tradition for so long, and they got arrogant and rested, and they hired Hugh Durham from Georgia, who was on retirement at the school. It just was,
Dadman, I've
yeah.
never even heard of that school. I'm 39. I've never heard of that school. I mean, I've probably heard of them just as well, of course, there's a school with a football team there.
Yeah.
I had no idea they did anything in
They don't
1970.
They don't play football. They play basketball, and they lived on
Okay,
through the
well,
80s.
you know,
They lived on the 80s. They used to have 10,000 people at games. I remember going attending when I was in school. UNC came here. UNC came here. Now they play in the Rent-A-Bum gym, like
Yep.
the high school gym on campus. That's how far they fall. In the 80s, they had a name. They had Wake Forest here. They had North Carolina here. Hell, I got to see Hank Gathers play in the 80s before the year he passed away on the court. I mean, I've been able to witness some great basketball over the years, but then the program just retracted, went to a Pit conference and irrelevance. Yep. And your point here is well said. History has proven it out so much with that. So, Buddy said the problem now with the NIL is that really good players go elsewhere and the mid-level players don't play as hard because they already got paid. Lesser, hungrier teams are out playing them. Yeah, I can agree with that, buddy. And hey, Guildman Thomas, hey, dude, you keep being awesome, dude. Keep up with your charity run and stuff like that, dude. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming by and saying hi on our Twitch side, dude. I don't know if you know much about Boston College or you follow much college football up there, but hey, good to see you, Thomas. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming by and saying hi tonight. I appreciate it. Okay, JT, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. I'm going to let you lead a little bit of discussion. No, this was post-Jordan. This was probably 88, 89. Well, freshman year was 88, 89. So, yeah, it was post-Jordan. Yeah. But, yeah, it's – you know what they said about the only man that could stop Michael Jordan in college, didn't you?
Michael Jordan in the pros.
No, Dean Smith with the four corners offense.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway.
you want to share this out? We'll do it.
Yeah. Okay, JT, I'm going to let you lead them while I'm working on getting our next queued up.
We wanted to kind of do some prognostication out through most of the rest of the year on the Big Ten because we're far enough along this season we can start making these predictions. So this week you're looking at Nebraska should win this. I don't think we need to go through every game, but I'm actually picking Washington over Michigan here. And because we said, and I think it was it Small Time Republic said Washington should be ranked. Yeah. I think you'll see Washington win in the Big House. Ohio State. No, Dadman, this could be a funny game.
JT, though, the Big House is Michigan, right?
Yes, it is.
Isn't that another name for prison? The Big House?
It is.
Okay.
So the Big House is one of the oldest stadiums in the country, and it's a single bowl, okay? Right. So anytime anyone else would try to make their stadium bigger, Michigan would just add on to the outside of the rim of the bowl to just add more seats. So you even go halfway up anymore, the angle of the stadium and the angle of the seats, if you sit halfway up in the Big House, you better bring, your $1,000 binoculars to even hope to see the football. It is, to me, it is a horrible sport viewing experience. Now I mean, I hate the other rival school, but if you went there and you don't have a dog in that race, you would probably think the atmosphere was really fun, but you would hate trying to watch football there. Yeah. If you're that far up, and halfway up is not the cheap seats yet.
By the way, I just got to say, I just checked. I was just looking at Twitter. Deeple 101's out there apparently listening to the show. Mobile doesn't like chatting. Let chatting work. Oh, dude.
Oh,
another televised practice against Illinois. He sent some memes. I'll have to use those. We'll have to get those later.
Yeah, Deeple's been on fire all week on
absolutely,
X.
absolutely.
So, had liked a lot of posts. So.
Oh God, yes, I remember this.
Yeah,
Penn State as State Penn. Yes.
No, what is funny is Michigan State, to their credit, did beat the #1 MAC team, Western Michigan, this season. Woo-hoo! So I'll give them that. This Ohio State game, Dadman, I think it has the potential of going two ways. Okay, Ohio State with the highest scoring game against Wisconsin in the matchup history, or Ohio State puts in all their backups for playing time.
Yeah.
And they only win like 42-6. So Michigan State's going to lose to Indiana. Oregon will win. Iowa will win. UCLA will win. And then the game that I wanted to talk about was USC at Notre Dame.
Okay.
Now, because USC beat Michigan and Michigan State, they're now 20th. I think they're a good football team, a better team than anybody thought they'd be this year. I think Notre Dame's a fraud.
Yeah. I could see USC going on the road to win this game.
You do?
Very easily. So, I mean, I see Iowa knocking on Penn State, new quarterback for Penn State, and just, the mess that Penn State's become. Ohio State, obviously, if friggin' Iowa put 37 up on Wisconsin, then just you can forget that game. But I'll tell you what, I watched Purdue beat Northwestern, though. Watch that happen.
No, totally. I can see it. I can see it.
And
that's somewhat of a rivalry. I mean, it's Purdue, Indiana is.
Boiler up, toot, boiler up, toot.
Yes.
I never forget when you taught me that one. So,
and then I showed it to you, and you got real quiet, like he's not bullshitting me.
That's just sad. Just sad.
All right, so next week 9. This will be easier to see from here on out because they haven't designated the TV networks yet, or the times. So you're looking here, another win for Indiana, another win for Oregon. So they're both going to stay in the top 10. I predict another win for Nebraska. Illinois and Washington, I don't know. Michigan State, it's in East Lansing, even though they're awful this year. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's always close. No. Michigan State might just do it.
Okay.
Because, Iowa with the win, and I don't know, Dadman. Do we even,
buddy? You always think Notre Dame's a fraud.
I do, and I will always say it. And I will,
I like to what some people say they have to join a conference.
Yep.
But, all right.
Week 10. Week 10. This should have been the big battle of the 1 versus the 2. Now it's a backup coach rolling out a practice squad level competition for Ohio State.
Yeah.
Another win for Indiana. Another win for USC. Do I even care? No.
I mean, these are ugly matchups. These really are ugly matchups. These bottom teams,
and
Purdue,
win
Rutgers.
For Illinois. Yeah.
I don't see how Purdue or Rutgers win either of those games. Michigan State, Minnesota, just Penn State. All 4 the bottom feeders just have no chance this week, really.
Yeah, these bottom 3 games. Yeah. I mean, they'll be on like Fox Sports 2, or on Peacock probably. So, you can kind of see where we're going here.
This is basically the bottom of what I want to look at is proven out. The bottom teams they're pretty much screwed at this point.
And again,
there's not much chance of them having a decent season.
Another 4 wins for the ranked teams. The only ones that might surprise you are Nebraska and UCLA. Hey,
at least they let Northwestern start earlier than 11 o'clock at night.
They're on a Friday.
Yeah.
God, yeah. I know.
I hate Friday college football. That's high school's night. Now I'll say watch this week. Watch Indiana go to Penn State and lose. I just don't trust.
After Penn State gets blown out by like 50 points to Ohio State, you think Indiana will? You know what? I kind of like
game
that
like that.
Story.
You never know. You never know.
I like that story.
It's a road game. Yeah.
You might be onto something there.
It's a road game for one thing. They probably will set it for late afternoon or evening. It's Happy Valley is a hard place to win. Nebraska should lose at UCLA the way things are going. I mean, the last 2 games pretty much. I for some reason I wanted, as much as I hate Iowa, they play good defense, and if they can get any competence at offense, Oregon's not untouchable. Oregon's not unbeatable, as we've seen. So just saying, not that I'm calling it. That's an interesting game. Oh, by the way, do you know what Penn State's stadium's name? It's not Happy Valley. For all you fans out there, it's Beaver Stadium.
Yeah. Yep.
How the hell are they Beaver Stadium when Oregon State's not Beaver Stadium? It's a
Nittany Lion in their mess. They're the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Anyway, all right. Well, let's run through the rest of the conference.
Yep, we've got
schedule
just a few weeks left here.
Then I want to touch up on we'll take a quick look at next week's games and talk about the coaching firings in a few minutes.
Oregon winning on a Friday at home.
Yep.
UCLA losing. Wisconsin being practice squad for Indiana. This game, Iowa USC, would be very interesting to see.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. You got to get Penn State, Michigan State down there too. That could be. That could
watch
be
Michigan. Watch Michigan lose this game to Northwestern.
Okay.
Let's see here. The following week.
Oh, by the way, the Michigan Northwestern game is going to be played at Wrigley Field in Chicago.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
All right.
Again at Wrigley Field with Minnesota. I wonder if they've got something going on at the stadium down there, but Rutgers, another practice game for Ohio State.
Yeah.
USC could be ranked higher than Oregon by this point. This will be a great game to watch, but it's in Oregon. So it's a Pac-12, Pac-10, whatever Pac number you want to assign it, matchup. Then a whole bunch of nothing. See, this is the problem with Big Ten. It's like
that's why the big
stacked and then nothing.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. That's why the SEC snubs come out. Is nobody respects the conference because the up and down. At least the SEC is recognized. They may not have the best teams anymore, but top to bottom, they are better than most of the other conferences. Even the middle road teams are a lot better. So.
Oh, and hey to Sam.
Mm-hmm. Sam, BYU, my new team. Yay. Oh,
so,
hey, it's all good. Hope your podcast goes really well.
Sam, I got your email. I will respond to it when I can. It's been a busy week, but I will hopefully get back to you soon. Thanks. Let's see here, Dadman. The Indiana Purdue rivalry game. Why you got to throw that on a Friday night? I don't know. Let's see. Nothing really going on this week except
it's
for the one down here at the bottom.
Actually, so but yeah.
Well, this one here at the bottom, historically in the Big Ten, this has been quote unquote a game.
Well, I tell you what, I expect this year. I expect Ryan Day to run up the score in Michigan after last year.
Oh hell yeah, they will. Hell yeah, they will.
I expect them to just let it all hang out and just beat
the living
fire out of them. So
I mean, it'll be scary. I think it'll be scary how much Ohio State dominates that game.
By the way, my feed, my YouTube, and my Twitter, my YouTube feeds, music feeds, getting smashed by some artist out there, and I know my Twitter feed is like being taken over by Michigan State now and BYU. I tweet a few things to you guys, and now they all come back me. That's like crazy.
Which is weird because I get nothing. So go figure. But this matchup,
yeah,
I think Michigan, if I were to look at them, a loss, a win, a loss, a win, a loss. So they may barely make bowl eligibility with 6 or 7 wins. And I say that because they lost to 18th Oklahoma. They lost to what is now, I'll just say they lost to Oklahoma. And they're going to lose to probably a ranked Washington, and they'll lose to a ranked Ohio State.
Yeah.
So they'll be 0-3 against ranked opponents. What else could you really say about that?
They're going to get beat by Ohio State, but then again, we say that's the thing in rivalry games, and they're playing at the big house, so you never know what'll happen. You can't.
Yeah, and Central Michigan is struggling in the MAC. Wisconsin can't even score.
Yep.
It's like their wins, they're going to get a win maybe at Purdue and at Maryland. Like, come on. So anyway, I just wanted to gloat that their team is just as bad as like they're going to fall all the way down.
No.
Anyway, I know we've all had enough of Big Ten.
Yeah, well, that's why next week we'll probably look at the SEC a little bit.
Okay, I was going to say I can dial that up, but
yeah, we can. No, we'll do it another night because I do want to get on to. We need to look at next week's games. and talk about the coaching changes really quick. But this is an article that I saw today. We'll maybe have to bring this in down the road as we learn more. But there's talks about a $2 billion private equity deal. I'm not fully sure of the details, but I know a couple of the school's board of trustees have been critical and questioning of this. And again, we're getting more freaking money into the world of college sports. Just, it's insane. It's just, just you start to wonder, should we start having just regular minor leagues like we do in baseball? And we try to, but see, the problem is there's not enough support. The UFL is like moving out of 3 big cities with big stadiums to smaller places with smaller fields.
I don't think these teams would ever try to do it. They're too big a cash cow, and they have the crutch of the government with a lot of these public universities, where they get free stadiums, a lot of built-in fan base. I don't think you'll ever see them go to a legitimate minor league structure. What they need to do is get some free agency rules and some guardrails around the NIL.
Yep. Well, let's take before we take a quick look at next week's games. One of the biggest stories that's happened, especially it took on notice this last weekend with 3 coaches being fired. So far, Deshaun Foster was fired a couple weeks ago, and of course, the UCLA team has turned around. He fired in his second season. Brent Pry was fired weeks ago at Virginia Tech. Like Small Time said earlier, it could be what the hell, Sim. Welcome to the big house. Perfect getaway. Oh, now that you have the Muppets. Oh, thank you. We need to do that on a squirrel stream one night. Yeah. But anyway, Brent Pye, I mean, I tell you, like Small Time pointed out, hey, Beamer, if they want you up there, go. Don't you go before you get fired. Coaches should do that. Really, that you will be run off at some point. It doesn't. And of course, they hired Justin Fuente. It's another school like Florida that kept hiring these younger coaches, the hot coaches, and they don't turn out. You've got to get somebody with some experience in some of these programs.
But here's a list. Here, I'll send you this list of all the coaches fired so far.
Yeah. Well, I've got an article here with 6 at this point. So, but yeah,
this one's got even more, but it's close. Okay. Yeah.
Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State. That was a huge one, especially with his history with the school as a player and a coach, being the winningest coaching in team history. Sam Pittman at Arkansas. This was coming a couple of years ago. Last year he was on the hot seat, but then losing this week, a couple weeks ago, ended up sealing his fate, the loss to Memphis. And of course, but I tell you what, I think he was dead man walking, really, because I think the moment they brought Bobby Petrino in to run their offense, he was torched. Go ahead and pull that article up though, JT, because I'm afraid of trying to click on a link. So I don't lose it.
Here.
You
can share it out if you like.
I will.
I've got it up.
Yeah. Well, okay. Is that the article that you're showing right now?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I see it in ESPN schedule though.
No. Share this instead. Okay, there we go.
Okay. By the way,
I almost boomered it.
Again to Wade, Trent Bray of Oregon State, a former player.
Here you go.
0-7. Okay.
Got it now.
0-7. After a 5-7 start last year, but anyway, the reformed Pac-12. Don't get me started on that. And of course, James Franklin, Penn State fame. This is the biggest thing with them. They fire a coach that was in the playoffs last year, and friggin' Billy Napier still employed at the University of Florida. I mean, you got a coach that's sub 500, still has a job, being defended by an athletic director and administration, and a school that says they're a football school, and Penn State pulls the trigger. Now, I don't like James Franklin. I do not want him in Gainesville because of his lack of big game ability. He always chokes in the big games. It's whatever it is. But for a school to pull the trigger on him so quickly, though, I mean, are they afraid of Michigan coming up and that they're falling further behind Michigan and Ohio State? Or, I mean, this one surprised me because he was just in the playoffs last year. What do you think on that whole situation, or any of these
I
coaching
think
changes?
there might be something else going on that we just don't know about that happened at the school. That's what I maintain. The biggest stat that I guess would be worrying, and I don't think it warrants a termination, is that Penn State is the first team since 1978 to lose back-to-back games as a favorite by at least 20 points. Now, somebody had to go hard into the stats to dig that out. I don't think that's on anyone's mind.
Yeah.
In the athletic department there.
Yeah. And hell, Tim,
I have no way of proving it, but I really do think that there's something else there that you may never know about.
Well, I tell you what, though, I think if they have a bad feeling about it, then they should pull the trigger. I hate this. Coaches really don't improve. It's like Bill Napier. I knew him year one what he was. I've said since year one he needed to go. I've been consistent in that.
Yeah, but you made the playoffs last year.
No. I'm Billy Napier at Florida.
You're right, but with Franklin, do you really know what he is?
Yeah.
You said if you knew what
he won't. But I knew
it.
This guy won't. He can make the playoffs. He's never going to win a championship. He's never going to win the Big Ten. He turned around Vanderbilt, made him good for a few years. Big deal. Okay, that's an average program. I mean, it's different when you're playing these big boys.
I tell you what though, you get some coaches that stuck around way too long before they finally won, but they did win. So then it whitewashes all of the bad years you had before, like Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah,
finally cheating his way into the finals there.
Yeah,
but he had a horrible 5 years, 6 years before that.
Yeah,
that people wanted.
Everybody forgets. Yeah, could not beat Ohio State or anything.
Yeah, was losing to Michigan State by fewer and fewer points scored every year, and all kinds of ridiculous crap that they had to put up with for a long time. But everybody forgets about that because he cheated his way, and they even like to forget about that. But he was run out of there by the NCAA.
Well,
then you look at who else? Mark D'Antonio at Michigan State.
Yeah.
He had a big rise every year, winning more games than the last, won the Rose Bowl, then went, to the national championship, lost to Alabama, but second year of the championship, the playoff, you go all the way there. Yeah. Then the next year, not quite as good, and then fell off completely. So do you really know what a coach is in year one?
I think you can sometimes. I think sometimes you can. Napier come from a nothing conference up, and that clap shift and that jammed up, and everybody within 10 yards or 15 yards on the line of scrimmage, rarely running four wide, rarely drop back throwing deep, and being a pro style offense, having your quarterback exposed to injury running all the time in the SEC is not a way to run a passing offense. If you're going to have a quarterback that's a 5-star quarterback that's known for throwing the ball downfield, you don't run him in the SEC. They get hurt very quickly unless they're built like Tebow. But even then, he got hurt at times. Small times, but Napier takes the blame for his loss of freeze to flex. See, he freezes another one in the SEC. We talk about Beamer. How about he freezes another one that's getting on a hot seat. 0-3 in the conference to start. I mean, some close losses. Bad officiating, but and
I just think that if your team makes it to the playoffs one year, you get to have a bad year the next year.
I agree with you. That's why this
year's not even over. This year's not even over.
This is the one that surprised me. This is one that surprised me a bit, though. But also, this is another comment I like to say. I agree with you, small time. Clark Lee's a guy that if he gets a job offer this year, better take it. Because I don't think he'll be anything without Diego Pavia and that coach from New Mexico State. Without that team has no offense.
You did mention 6, but there were a couple more that have already been.
Let's go to this article too.
Sure.
You have here, JT.
We won't go. Yeah, if we want to rehash, we can.
We'll go
Stanford's
pretty
Troy
quickly.
Taylor was allegations for. We won't say, but you can kind of guess. An HR related thing. So he was out. So Stanford's got an opening. UCLA, UCLA, you said Deshaun Foster.
Yep.
For opening 3-6 with a 5-10 record. I could kind of get that. The record's just not strong enough for what you want to do. But then they beat Michigan State. So whatever. The next one, Brent Perry at Virginia Tech. Did you mention this?
Yeah, Brent Pry.
Yep. Okay.
Pry, yep. Yeah, exactly.
They had started 0-3, and I think they had a really cupcake schedule.
Old Dominion,
right?
and Old Dominion kicked their ass big time.
Yeah,
So it's like,
at home, kicked them at home.
Yep.
So that one didn't surprise me. Mike Gundy, kind of sad for me because I like Oklahoma State.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
But the way they started to lose a lot last year, and then nothing changed this year. I get it. Trent Bray at Oregon State.
Yep. Beavers. Yep.
Sam Pittman at Arkansas. We talked about that one.
Yep.
Trent Dilfer.
Yes, at University of Birmingham, Alabama, Birmingham. Yep.
6 games into his 3rd season.
Wow. It's just, yeah.
This list is only going to get longer too.
Yeah.
But and then James Franklin, who we just covered. So there's a longer list anyway of FBS teams.
Yeah.
I almost think Central's coach is on the hot seat too. Central Michigan's.
Yeah.
In the MAC, because they're supposed to be like the Alabama of that conference, and they're 7th or 8th place right now.
Wait, is that the Chippewas?
Yes, Central Michigan.
Jim McElwain?
Go Chips.
Huh?
Yep. I believe so.
Jim McElwain?
I believe it is, yeah.
The Mr. who didn't know if he wanted to coach the Gators before Florida, Georgia, and after, dude, he got run off in the weirdest way. It was like a bizarre news conference the next day. It just was. It was kind of like, dude, screw you, get out of here. You don't want to be here. He couldn't see. It's another case of a guy that didn't fit the culture in the conference. He couldn't handle the hack. He couldn't handle the pressure and all the demands on a Florida coach. That Urban Meyer gave up. I'm sorry. I mean, I'll take Urban Meyer back if you want to get back into coaching, but because we want to win at some point. But you know what? It's still it. But Urban Meyer had that ability to annoy people, like Steve Spurrier did. I think that's a good sign of a coach. I think those are the ones that really get into people's heads, and I like the jerk, but then McElwain left here basically almost willingly because he couldn't handle it. It was a different culture, different pressure, and that's why I think some of these other northern coaches, when they come down, have troubles adjusting. But I do agree with
Matt Drinkle. It's Matt Drinkle who replaced Jim McElwain.
Oh, McElwain had gotten fired at some point, or
November of last year.
Wow, I didn't realize McElwain was gone. Oh my God, yeah.
So it was a replacement.
Either way, but I do agree with small time. I'd like to see if Clark Lee could actually coach Vanderbilt to a winning record if he doesn't have those players. And of course, we're not even going to have time to get into the buyouts tonight. We talked about it various times. Matt Franklin, I think, had about almost a $50 million buyout. Napier has one at about $20 million, but apparently I don't. Now, apparently, the latest news is that they've had meetings and they have a time frame. Could be around the Mississippi State game, which means watch for Florida to beat Mississippi State.
Yep.
So then, we can't fire him. Then now, one thing leads to another. We end up with the same coach again and again. But all right,
it's really funny. You can pay a quarterback $12 million, but you can't buy out a coach for $20. That would be unheard of in the NFL.
Yeah, that whole thing. Just all that is just sad. I mean, the whole situation with these payouts. And there's one thing, good for the players to be able to get paid, to get some money. But with what has happened, and of course, like we talked about, the coaching buyout, Jimbo had a $76 million buyout. And I actually, last year, I don't know if you were with me, but there's this show we talked about the buyouts. It's the buyouts that had been paid. It's just paying people to just walk away. But hey, we have very few minutes remaining. Let's do a rush around this week's games, okay, JT?
I just wanted to mention this real quick.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson is paid less than that Michigan
Wow.
quarterback.
Well, according to the way he's playing, it's kind of deserved. But yes, that's sad. That NFL backup. Let's take a look. Of course, unfortunately, games start Friday night. Louisville is at second-ranked Miami, which I think the Miami should run away with. It's pretty easy. There's also 25 in the Big Ten. We have a 25th ranked Nebraska. Yo, Erica, if you watch one day, as at Minnesota, her husband's a big Cornhusker fan. Of course, we got Bill Belichick at California. I mean, there's been talk. They had this show set up for, it's not Hard Knocks. It was like some show to follow North Carolina through the season. They've discontinued that show now. There is talk about, is he getting a buyout? Will he be one of the next coaches to go? Because, folks, that's the problem with having a big personality and they come in and lay a dud. It's like Urban Meyer in Jacksonville in the NFL. Wow. And that's the same thing you see, with Belichick going to college. The team's not even competitive in any sense of the word. So, let's see. Any thoughts on any of those games?
Go SJS.
All right, you're cheering for Buddy.
That's it. Yeah, I'm cheering for them. Cal to win, Miami to win, Nebraska to win.
Looking at this hits me kind of. I wonder what Sam thinks of Utah State. I know, being a BYU fan, I know that Utah is a big rivalry, but what about Utah State? So Sam, if you're there, let me know what you think.
Now it's Maverick Stadium. Do they fly like a fighter jet over there with Tom Cruise before all the games?
I don't know. Possibly. I think there are Air Force bases up in that area. So, but hey. All right, on Saturday, we got, leading off, it's a pretty good lineup, I think, in times this week. 10th ranked LSU, who's on the road at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is favored on an ABC noon kickoff. Georgia Tech is at Duke at 12 also. Washington, Michigan on Fox. Not a bad matchup.
Pick Washington, folks. Pick not money, but root for Washington, please.
This is what I was thinking. No, well, we love Utah State about the Aggies. Hey, Sam knows her football. She knows the team's nickname too. Yes, they are the Aggies. Yes, not to be confused with Texas A&M Aggies. Just skipping down through here, Arizona at Houston could be an interesting game to watch. Connor Wegman's a quarterback for Houston.
Bowling Green.
Central Michigan. Yes, Bowling Green. You know what Bowling Green is famous for this year?
No.
They got Pudge the cat.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Pudge the cat, yes.
Yeah, so yeah. I'm going to be rooting for Bowling Green.
Yes, go Pudge. Go Pudge. Yay, we love the cats around here.
That Eastern Miami game will be embarrassing to watch. I picked Miami of Ohio.
Sam said they are a little forgotten. The Air Force Base is actually closer to the University of Utah. Oh,
okay.
Tim said University of Nebraska, where N stands for knowledge. And the Aggies are pretty much a redheaded stepchild of Utah sports. That's so funny. All
Interesting.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are great. We got a 14th ranked Oklahoma at South Carolina. Look for South Carolina to maybe upset. Oklahoma's still without a quarterback, the starting quarterback. South Carolina should get healthy. You still have Lenore Sellers. I think Oklahoma's fall is going to keep going.
Yeah, I think South Carolina.
No, that's Bowling Green, Ohio. JT has told me that Bowling Green State University is in Ohio, not Kentucky. I always thought it was Kentucky, but it's Ohio.
It's about an hour south of Toledo on Interstate 75.
Toledo.
Yeah, well, people know where Toledo is, right?
Do they really want to stop there? It is the closest Waffle House to you.
It is, but I'm just saying, like, if people are trying to place it, they know Interstate 75 runs north-south through the east, right? Because you're off of 75 relatively if you're in Florida, unless you're like way west of the Panhandle. And that's true in a lot of states. So anyway, enough of Bowling Green. They have a crappy Chipotle there.
Yeah, too much Ohio really tonight.
Yeah, it really is.
And this we get kind of cringy when we talk about Ohio and Toledo. But hey, dude, go get your Waffle House inside jokes. Spartans play better at home, so the Aggies will probably take it, is what Buddy says with that game. So glad we could get a game of people. But yeah, Pudge the Cat. I mean, Bowling Green's mascot. But we talked about it in another show. But I do think Oklahoma will still struggle. They may even be unranked after this week. But they did.
South Carolina's a beautiful school, by the way.
Yeah, South Carolina. I love that state. We went there for the full eclipse one year. Just we love South Carolina. We went to homeschool conventions up there on purpose, and I really loved my time staying around in the South Carolina area, especially up around Spartanburg. It's really, really nice. Battle Big 12 disappointments: West Virginia, UCF,
Toledo. Go Rockets!
The Rockets. What? They have a theme song?
Yes. Well, they have a fight song. Yeah. I just hummed it for you.
We got Toledo in it again. The Toledo Rockets. Hum that again for us.
Go Rockets. They're the Toledo Rockets. Come on.
I know. How the hell are they the Rockets?
They beat Michigan, which is hilarious. How the hell are
they Rockets? What the hell in Toledo resembles
because you want to get on a rocket and get the hell out. But, I'm not making it up.
I gotta go for a second.
All right, I apparently just broke Dadman. Oh man, I won't speak bad of the town. It's a rough enough place, so we'll just leave it there. They have a nice zoo. They have a very nice zoo.
Rough enough place, but they have a zoo. Very good, interesting.
Yeah, they have a nice zoo, and they have a really nice art museum.
There you go. Toledo, Ohio, high for culture, and
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, you got a museum and animals. So what else can you? Sam said you shouldn't have two cities named Bowling Green that close together.
There's a lot of problems like that in the Midwest. I think every state's got a Springfield. Every state's got a Monroe. Every state's got, Calhoun after John C.
And then you got Ohio. So, because your state, Michigan, fought a war with Ohio over Toledo.
And we won. We did win.
So you won the war over Toledo and gave Toledo back to Ohio, right?
Yeah. And that whole thing was because of a river system. And back then, Lake Erie and the Erie Canal and trying to explore what's now the Midwest was a very big challenge and really easily done, or more easily done, with the river system. And the Toledo River, being a part of the Great Lakes system,
normally people
worth
win a
fighting
war.
over.
Normally people win a war and to keep the land that they conquered. So you guys actually won the war and gave it back to Ohio.
We swapped because Ohio had already been a state and we had just become a state. But part of the fight was they were trying to block our statehood because we had a claim to Michigan's today Upper Peninsula, and Ohio, as an existing state, also had a claim. But the thing is, they were further away. Most people would say it was a weaker claim, but they said because they were an actual state that they had the more legitimate claim. But we got the UP, which had all the minerals and the beautiful land and the water around it.
And Ohio got
Toledo.
Ohio got Toledo.
Yes.
Wow.
It's kind of like Ohio also says they're the birthplace of flight. In North Carolina says they're first in flight.
Yeah.
Because they flew in North Carolina.
Yeah, that's the Wright brothers.
Yeah, but the Wright brothers were born in Ohio, so Ohio wants to claim credit, even though they weren't.
God, what a jealous state,
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, Deeple. I know you're listening. You can't comment, but I tell you what, Deeple has acknowledged the Sunday memes about how bad Cleveland and Cincinnati, the Bengals, are. So he has.
Cincinnati is not a bad city. I
meant the team
cool
in terms of the football. Yeah, I've been through Cincinnati. It's depressing though in terms of seeing all the old Midwestern ironworks and all that stuff on the side of the interstate, all the closed down buildings.
That's really almost more Appalachia than it is Midwestern.
Yeah. Well, I did.
A whole other debate.
We were on there.
We were
down there on the riverfront on Christmas Day, and it was a nice place, but I wouldn't want to live there. It's just too big. But then again, I like small towns. But all right, let's get back to it. Like you said, the warm-up game, Ohio State at Wisconsin at 3:30. We both would say Ohio State.
Michigan State's going to get walloped by Indiana.
Texas A&M at Arkansas. Another. Why is it even being played? Arkansas though could. If Arkansas now with Petrino and they get their offensive spark going, don't rule the pigs out in this one. Just stranger things have happened. A&M couldn't struggle, but if Arkansas can score 30 points, you got a game, possible upset here. Game of the week in the SEC, Ole Miss and Georgia, 3:30 game on ABC. I don't like. I think both teams are down, and I think that in this one I see Georgia making up for last year. They get the revenge on.
I'd rather have Ole Miss win.
Yeah,
I would. Who do you want on that matchup?
I'll take Georgia. Georgia. I can't go with Lane Kiffin in a big game on the road yet. If he wins this one, then I'll start to change what I think. But yeah, Jess said if they hadn't connected the Chicago River Lake Michigan, that part of Illinois would be given to Wisconsin. Look, all I can think of when you talk about that was the Great Emu War in Australia. So it's like. That's too funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, we split on that one. Then or do you take Georgia or you?
I take Ole Miss.
Okay, you do think that they win it? Yeah. Okay.
I want them. This is who I want to win more than anything else.
Well, Chambliss, their quarterback, is really coming out of nowhere and impressed a lot of people. And if they get good quarterback play, they could beat Georgia. This is not your Georgia team normal Georgia team because Gunnar Stockton has not led a prolific offense. And
The thing about Ole Miss is what team shows up and when do they wake up. The other two games we've seen this season, they were dormant until, well, gosh, I forgot who else they were playing.
That Kentucky game was horrible.
Yeah, like the second half, they finally decided to play some football.
Look at Sam. Wait, Dadman, who are you calling pigs? Arkansas, the Razorbacks, hogs. So I call them pigs. So, so Jess, Sam said, sorry, I'm working, listening, so I'm hearing half what you say. That makes it even weird. Listen, Sam, you listen to me long enough, you're going to hear all kind of weird stuff coming out. So I make up words and everything all the time. So, Small Time said, and the Emus won, not to be confused with Eastern Michigan University.
Yeah, who have been the Eastern Michigan Normalites. And then they were the Eastern Michigan Hurons. And then somebody got hurt that they would represent their heritage in a positive light, not the actual tribe. They didn't care, but the school was weird about it. So then now they're the Eagles.
Yep. All right. We got SMU at Clemson. I don't know, the battle. I don't know who cares about that in ACC with neither ranked. I'm still thinking Clemson at home. Wyoming is at Air Force,
kind of a big regional game, right?
Yeah, but I look at this could be entertaining, but I look for Air Force to win going away. I mean, they put a 48 against UNLV and they're losing Alfred. Of course, then UNLV is on the road at Boise State. Let's see, looking down through the rest of these games here. Texas Tech, 7 ranked, is on Arizona State. Arizona State starting quarterback will be back this week, but Texas Tech is on fire. They really are a good team, and they don't seem like they're going to be stopped. But Arizona State is back at home with their quarterback. So,
man, say hey to Mr. Angel.
Mr. Angel, hey, Mr. Angel, hey, thanks for dropping by. Good to see you, Mr. Angel, as always. Have a good night and get you some rest. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling that out, JT. Memphis at UAB. Memphis
UAB without a coach.
Yep. Trent Dilfer was fired. Memphis should win this game fairly handily. I mean, they're a good team. They, the weaker five or whatever they call them, the group of five. But yeah, watch for them to win. Game I'm going to be looking at. Honestly, I tell you what, if I get a better offer to stream with somebody or do something as a watch out or something, I'm probably going to skip the Mississippi State Florida game because this game's going to make me mad either way. Because these are games I hate. I hate a game where if they win, damn it, I'm mad because they keep the coach or they lose, and it's like I'm mad because they lost. So it's a bad situation. But I I will say I put this in a Billy Napier saves the job game. That Florida wins this game against Mississippi State. Mississippi State's dropped 2 in a row after starting hot. What do you think, JT?
I was going to ask you how mad you would be if Mississippi State beat them, and it doesn't sound like you're going to be that angry or that upset.
It's apathy. That's what the
Yeah.
problem is. It's like with Star Wars. Anytime fan bases and fans hit apathy, I'm serious. I'd rather sit there and do stuff with friends or, something. I mean, like this last Saturday, I didn't miss watching the Gators. I mean, I've enjoyed the wedding and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
the only thing is,
I did something silly around the hotel, which ended up a lot of fun too. But those are the moments I love. I mean, I'm getting more joy out of stuff like that than I am football with my team, because you can only sit there and watch this stuff so much before you really just don't care anymore. So
right. Well, that's me with Michigan State.
Yeah.
You just call me directly, them losing next game kind of thing.
Yep.
I think Mississippi State having won 4 versus Florida winning 2 gives them a slight edge, but they're also on the road. And I mean, they're like the bottom dwellers of the SEC conference right now.
Right.
So
But they
who wants to lose a little bit less?
Well, that game against Tennessee, Mississippi State could have beaten Tennessee very easily. So it's not like they're bottom dwellers just based on what happened. But it's not the traditional, they stood no chance and just got routed. Whereas Florida's been all over the place. 8th-ranked Oregon at Rutgers should be an easy win for Oregon. Washington State is at UVA. Could this be a possible upset? I still don't trust Virginia. I mean, even though they found a quarterback and some offense.
No. I mean, I don't. That's a game I don't care about too much.
Okay. Well, I say watch the Cougars in a possible upset there. I just don't trust Virginia.
On the CW, really? Okay.
CW does good with their sports. They're really into a lot of stuff nowadays. Speaking of which, 21 ranked Texas is at Kentucky. I just don't even like this matchup. Kentucky's so pedestrian. It was watch Arch Manning, but I will tell you, I'm going to tell you this: as bad as Kentucky is, as Arch Manning is worse. This game could be an upset. Florida has lost several games the last few times up at Kentucky. So watch it. If Arch comes in wet in the bed again, Kentucky stays in early, this could be an upset. Could be.
I would like it to be an upset just so Texas falls off the rankings.
I agree.
That's really it.
I agree. Well, we got the big Penn State Iowa game, which as I said, is
Iowa.
Wow. I'm like, yeah, especially Penn State starting a brand new quarterback this year. Maryland is at UCLA with their Nico Amalivia. I don't know. I'd say UCLA keeps up the hot streak, So, do you have a thought on that one, JT?
UCLA as well.
Okay. Big game. Another big game. This is a big game when the SEC gets 2 prime big network games on the same day. We got the Alabama Bowl. 6th-ranked Bama host 11th-ranked Tennessee.
Dadman, I really want Tennessee to win this so bad, and they're not. They are not going to win this game. They'll find a way to lose. I'm sorry to say, but it's true.
Rock Top, Rock Top. Home sweet. Your home sweet home to me. Good old Rock Top. Woo! Rock Top, Tennessee. Go Vols.
It'll be even more funny is if Tennessee does win, they'll have a better record and a tiebreaker in the SEC, and Alabama will move to like 9th, and Tennessee will move up to 10th.
That's the way it works. Well, I'll tell you what, this is the type of game, if Tennessee wins it, I might have to go on Jedi Bill's karaoke just to sing Rocky Top.
Oh, yeah.
I feel sick in the head. Why should any Florida Gator fan ever want to sing that damn song? They play that song first down, dun 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 dun. It's the only damn song they know up there, and I can't get it out of my head. It's like, oh, sorry about that. We got 14 people here watching us, JT. Thank y'all so much for being here. we are nearing the end, we think. USC's Notre Dame again. I agree. I think USC goes in there and exposes Notre Dame for being the fraud they are. But
yes.
exactly. But it's NBC on Peacock. Also, Florida Atlantic, South Florida, 19th ranked Bulls. Listen, this game's got some heat to it. Last year or recent past, the two coaches got into a big argument, almost a fight on the field after the game. So this one could have some fireworks in it. 16th Missouri is on the road at Auburn. I'd say look for Auburn to knock off Mizzou. I just don't like Missouri. I don't think.
Okay.
I think Pribula, who should have stayed at Penn State, would now be the starter there. Probably would have helped Penn State a lot this season, but Auburn's got to win in one of these close games at some point. They're not that bad. They're not what they've been in the prior years. So, any thoughts?
I think Mizzou will get it.
Okay.
Go Tigers.
All right. Well, the game of the week. She's here herself. You know what?
Yes.
I should have sent her the link just for this one game. But it's sad. She got vetoed by the kids and won't be able to watch the BYU Utah game.
Well, this is the late game. Almost. I mean, this is prime time. Prime time on Fox.
Yeah, because it's at 8 o'clock. It'd be 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock over. It's 6 o'clock, like Mountain Time. But
this is a big game. I mean,
I don't suddenly get a headache, Sam. Get a headache. You're sounding kind of peaked, you know. But I did not realize they call it the Holy War. I did not realize it's just. I figured the two schools hated each other, but. But it's hard to believe the BYU people hate anybody because they're so kind. Did you see the stuff like they did with the West Virginia? I mean, they're bringing, I guess the big thing at BYU, and Sam's kind of talked about it on our streams a bit, about this chocolate creamery thing, like with ice cream on. They delivered ice cream to a whole row of West Virginia fans and stuff like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There you go. Hey, that's the most important part of the game, the second half.
I would have thought the Holy War would have been like Princeton versus Notre Dame or something.
No. I don't know. But I tell you what, I could see Sam at their event. Come on, Sergeant Dad, move. Kids, move. Come. Okay, we get done. To the car, everybody, to the car. Sergeant Dad drive 50 miles an hour over the speed limit. But anyway, I see this is a hard game, but Utah is under Kyle Willingham. He's been there. He replaced Urban Meyer at Utah. That's how long he's been there. And he stayed.
Jeez. Wow.
Yes, he stayed there even when they were not Big 12 level. Coaching, good team, BYU. I tell you, I love this BYU team. I really love watching them. And not just because I get to hang out with Sam and her family a lot. It reminds me of Tim Tebow. Although I can't stand the quarterback with the number 47 on his friggin' jersey, but it was really they would have bought him. Yeah, Sam said that they do service projects, alumni associations at every game and donate the proceeds to a local charity. Yeah, they do a lot of stuff. It's a good place to go if you're a visiting fan for sure. But I got BYU. I the only knock on BYU is they let the quarterback wear the number 47. That's wrong. But do you have any thoughts on this one, JT?
I will be rooting for BYU on that.
Okay, I'm definitely rooting for BYU. But anyway, Sam said it's called the Holy War because it's church versus state. It's a church school versus the state school. Interesting.
See, I was going Catholic versus Protestant.
Yeah.
So.
But that's interesting. Thanks for that insight, Sam. All right, one more mention about Beavers around here. Can they win? They host Lafayette or what is a county in
Lafayette
Florida
is what I'm going to say.
Well, in Florida, there's it's pronounced for a county Lafayette.
And Purdue plays in West Lafayette.
I know, but we're Lafayette. Go figure. Beavers should pick up their first tickets as low as $8. There you go. That's the way to expand that stadium, get dumped into BS week conference. And again, I'll be up late, 10 o'clock, CW Network. If I'm singing Rocket Top, I'll be doing that, or I'll be harassing somebody else.
Why?
Just I don't. And the final game tonight, another one for Buddy Hepburn. Florida, I cannot believe this is a normal matchup and a conference matchup. Florida State, an Atlantic Coast Conference featuring Florida State on the Florida's Gulf Coast and Stanford on the country's Pacific Coast.
They got done almost as dirty as Michigan State.
10:30, yeah.
A half hour less dirty.
And they're playing a worse team. I mean, Florida State should win this game easily.
Stanford has no coach.
Yeah, but they've got Andrew Luck as a general manager on the sidelines, kind of trying to help them rebuild their team. But Florida State should go in there and win this game easily. I mean, the Florida State can score points. Stanford can't. I've watched Stanford a couple times this year. They lost to Hawaii, and of course they lost to BYU. This should be an easy Florida State win, but you never know when the teams travel west. Yeah. Oh gosh, now we got food talk. Buddy Hepburn, we are not Southern, so it wouldn't be ambrosia. Yeah, my Ang made that for her grandmother last weekend. It would be green Jello salad. Yep. If you haven't lived in Utah, you won't understand. We are not Southern, so it wouldn't be ambrosia. What's weird? What's wrong with you people in Utah? Why do you call it green Jello salad? Anyway, even I call it ambrosia. But anyway, that's it for this show this week, folks. Any other comments, questions? Anybody in the chat? I see I have one other starred comment. We missed this on the discussion through. Names that Penn State should go after: consider offense coordinators in Will Stein at Oregon, Shane Dawson from Miami. Coach names would be Mike Elko, and I've heard that one. Ryan Silverfield from Memphis. Look, I don't want any Mike Silver for Gainesville. Mike Elko would be better because he's proven it in the SEC. But all these other names, no. To me, Florida's job needs to be. Even though I don't trust Lane Kiffin, you need somebody like that. You need somebody that can recruit and bring people in and cause excitement in the fan base and with the players. So I mean, at least that's what I think. But we'll talk more about coaching changes as the season goes along. But JT, I think we are done at almost 2.5 hours. Wow.
Yes, sir.
And this, folks, is limited. We don't have the graphics we had in prior years and stuff like that. So, I mean, we're really scratching the surface with a lot of these things. But it's fun with you guys, especially you guys that know football. And if you don't know football, we appreciate you hanging out, having fun with us, harassing us, making fun of, whatever I do. Yeah, exactly. Elko although he has ties to Penn State, as I've understood. But the thing is, like JT, you said, Texas A&M is a better job than Penn State. And I agree with that.
Yeah. I really see no reason why you would go up to Penn State at all.
No, not at all. And to the people that, like I said, thank you for all the sports questions, the comments and stuff. Yes, exactly. Gators need to hire we need to cause excitement in the program. Might get some guys in there recruiting. Come on, we're football. Like going jambalaya down south. Go Gators. I would take Ed Orgeron as my coach at this point. He's fun as hell. Have you ever heard Ed Orgeron in an interview?
No.
Oh my God! No. I'd play it, but I'd get dinged. A couple weeks ago, I played something that old Mississippi State game. I got a copyright claim, which is not a strike, but it's like, why the hell? I played that clip so many times and I get a copyright claim. Like what? Yes, exactly. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes, I figured you'd like that invitation, but yeah. There's football, and then the game you play where you kick the ball with your feet. Oh boy. I think Buddy's about to start a war of terminology between. We have some people that call what we call soccer football. But hey, all right. Well, any last thoughts, JT? Any other questions, comments to people in the chat? JT, any other thoughts?
Let's see. No. But root against Notre Dame, please. Root against Michigan, please. Those are my two asks a week. That's it.
Yep, absolutely. I just realized I need to bring a screen up really quickly because my wife made some great thumbnails, and there's one I really want to show, folks. So tonight we're back tonight. Obviously, tomorrow night at 8 p.m., I'm scheduled to have Wes Cagle on with our Go West Dadman again stream. So hopefully y'all can make that tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Let's see. And my wife worked hard on this. That's why I want to show this real quick. Hopefully I open it with the right thing. Oh shoot, that's the wrong size. This went to the wrong side. What the hell? Come here, move. There we go. All right, here we go. Because I will tell you, every year Miss and I have some streams related to holidays. We've done Halloween over the last few years in different ways. So this Friday night at 7 o'clock Eastern, we are going to celebrate Halloween early. We're actually going to have a Halloween gathering with Dadman, Mrs. Anna and Erica, decorations, traditions, and more this Friday night at 7 o'clock. Join us for this fun and frivolous stream that we're going to have a lot of fun. And if Erica's got a big surprise lined up for us, as I understand it. So we shall see. And if you've been with her on other streams with her earlier, she goes up big for Halloween. And I know our friend Anna does a lot of stuff for Halloween too. And Mrs. and I, we do some things and share some memories of stuff that we've done before in the past. And have you noticed I'm going to spend a moment on this just to point out something. You notice Mrs. did some kind of animated thing with them and then stuck me in the cauldron. So.
Well, I don't know what to say.
I don't know
what to say.
Yeah.
What did you do? What did you do last weekend?
I don't know. It's my lot in life, but hey, it's okay. The ladies will be around. We will have a lot of fun with that.
I'm just trying to be careful so I don't end up in there with you.
No, I know. I'm trying to figure out if those are eyeballs or what they are floating in there. But yeah, they could be rolls of toilet paper, but I think they're eyeballs. So, but yes. All right, folks. Well, that's, join us tomorrow night with West at 8. Join us on Friday at 7 with our Halloween celebration. A couple years ago, we did a Halloween celebration where Miss and I bought like almost $200 of candy. And we did a candy tasting the whole time. We ended up candy for a year. Just don't ask us why. We just did. And we had a couple guests and we talked about the candy we liked and didn't like. So this one, a little bit different. And Miss and I did one on costumes last year that was very well received. So one of the most viewed videos we've had on the channel. So, all right, JT, last thought. Buddy said something about Notre Dame and then what was
he said he can't do that for Notre Dame, which is pretty against it. And I said, sure you can, and he just might like it. And but his dad, Brian Hepburn, would not be a fan of this.
I know. Well, heck, I know, big Notre Dame fan out there. And yay for Friday. All right. God, that's your hands with marshmallows, dude. Nice. Okay, well, probably so. I'm like all relaxed in the cauldron, enjoying getting boiled. But hey, all right, folks. Thanks a lot. It's been a fun night, JT. Thank you again, and everybody have a wonderful night. Don't forget to tip your waitress. God, we got 14 people. 10 on the YouTube side. Please, if you're on the YouTube side, hit that like button, subscribe. We appreciate your attendance here, even if you're lurking. Please do that. Like I said, I'd like to get to 750 subscribers so that we can have another celebration. 4 people on the Twitch side right now back in. I'm just really thrilled at 2.5 hours. So many people are hanging out with us. And folks, like I said, if there's ever time you have questions about what we're talking about or football rules or anything else, feel free to ask because that's what we're here to explain stuff that we can. If we're not, we'll look it up and, really make football fun for everybody, because I'll be honest, my team sucks so badly that I get joy out of talking with you guys about this and stuff. And spending time with JT Kirk and hanging out with everybody, and it's always appreciated. And yes, thank you. As Anna says right there, thank you, everyone. Have a good morning, night, wherever you are. And we will catch you. See, this is what I do, JT. I start and I stop because I'm 45 seconds from hitting an exact 2.5 hours.
Yep.
I don't know
Are
why.
you trying to hit it, or are you trying to
Yes,
stay under it?
I am trying to hit it because I had this thing about round numbers. Like normally 25, 50, 75 zeros, like on clocks.
Well, we have another 29 seconds.
I know. That's what I see. We're at 25 right now. So by the time I quit
Are you
running,
one of
I'm
those
not-
guys that can't have the volume at 12? It's got to be 10 or 15.
Yeah, kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Exactly. And I, like Mrs. at 665, go subscribe to my wife's channel, folks, if you haven't. She wants to get 666 for Halloween.
For Halloween, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Everybody
Bye.
have a great night. We hit 2.5 hours. Have a great night, and we will catch you later. Good night, good morning, whatever it is. Have a great one. Bye, all. Oh, shoot, I nearly left stream. I almost hit the leave studio button, leaving you here. All right. Now end stream. Good night.